It is complete stop-and-go traffic if you are westbound 24 trying to get through Jolton. I'm not quite sure what the situation is there, but it is like a parking lot. We've got crashes in the way and disabled vehicles. Got a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane 24 westbound near Murfreesboro Road. Got a police activity call. Right lane blocked in Kingston Springs. It's going to be 40 westbound near exit 188. In White House, we had that earlier crash this morning that apparently is still there in some form. 65 southbound before Bethel Road. And then in Nashboro Village, a wreck. Bell Road near Smith Springs Road. And Murfreesboro Pike at Thompson Lane. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. Oh, goodness. Got a lot of static going on my end. Hello, friends. Welcome in. There we go. It is the Matt Murphy Radio Show underway as best we can for another day on a Friday edition. Happy to have you with us. It is 7 minutes after 3 o'clock. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with us, whether it's a few moments, a few minutes, a few hours, all the show from 3 until 7 o'clock. We appreciate you. Tell a friend or a neighbor that the Matt Murphy Radio Show is on the air on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. Not just on the radio airwaves, but also on TuneIn, Spotify, iHeart. We have our own app. You can download our app in your app store and take us wherever you want to go, Supertalk 99.7 WTN. And then, of course, there's Talk TV. We're going to get Talk TV back up and lumbering under its own weight eventually. Right now, we're running bare bones, but it is up and running. Maybe a little bit of lag here and there. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Give us the old like and subscribe. It's my understanding that Ken Weaver knows exactly how much that's going to cost the folks.
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yes.
Nothing. Not a single thing. And if you didn't watch any of the show yesterday, you missed watching Ken Weaver eating banana pudding.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You also forgot you're on camera.
Son of a biscuit eater.
So right as we were beginning the show, I was passing out banana pudding. I was yelling at Chad for trying to get me to eat a slider while passing.
Those sliders were. Oh.
They were tip-top. They were tip-top. I had one later, and then I had some wings. Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
After you left, you know what they did?
Brought out a whole bunch of wings.
No, they shut down the sheets. That's what the ice rink or the curling section is called.
Sheets.
Yeah, they're called the sheets.
Okay.
They shut down the sheets because of a corporate event.
Yeah.
But about 30 minutes into that, they said, hey, we got way too much food. The buffet is open to everybody.
Oh.
They had a buffet, Ken.
Well, I saw that buffet, but I didn't know who it was for.
Well, it wasn't for us originally, but then it became for us.
So, but we could have gone up there and got a plate, and maybe nobody would have said anything.
Maybe nobody would have
They thought
noticed.
we were part of the corporate gig.
Yeah, you know what I did, though? I made a mistake. You know what I did, Jackson? I went up and I picked a piece of pizza. You know what piece of pizza I picked?
Did you pick the vegan pizza?
Yes, I did.
How was it?
It was as good as I could possibly imagine a piece of vegan pizza being.
It's like dipping a carrot in marinara sauce.
I mean, if it's vegan,
Yeah.
so there's no meat, there's no cheese.
It's,
I mean,
Just bread and veggies.
like a breadstick. I mean, but it was as good as one
It
could
was
be.
a tasty breadstick.
But I immediately washed it down with a couple of hot wings,
yes, sir.
and that made everything better.
How were the hot wings? Were they big and fat ones?
They were good. They were good, Ken. I did Nashville hot, and they were They were hot.
Ooh, that's brave.
Yeah. Old former councilman Robert Swope had one.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know how you do it. He was like, washed it down with a couple of delicious Guinness.
Yeah, Guinness.
Get that heat off his tongue. That was fun yesterday, guys. Had a good
great
time.
I had a blast, man. That was a lot of fun.
We need to do that more often in 2026. We hope to do it more often in 2026. Go out in a little fellowship with the folks.
I love meeting our listeners, man.
I do too.
It's a lot of fun.
I do too. I had to apologize to Lindsay.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I got kind of a, what's the word, sharp with Lindsay, because she came up while I was doing the show and she was like doing some nonsense, and I was like, get out of here, Lindsay. And I did not realize that she had been dared by the YouTube chat to do that.
Oh, yeah, you can't be mean to Lindsay.
Can't be mean to Lindsay. So, Lindsay, I'm
She's a
sorry.
sweetheart.
I blame you over on the YouTube chat. Y'all are troublemakers, because what happened, Lindsay got online while she was at the event and told everybody on the YouTube chat she was there.
Yeah.
And so they were like, oh, you need to go mess with Murphy. You need to go screw with Murphy. You need to go give Murphy bunny ears. And they bet her she wouldn't do it.
And she did.
And she did. And she did. And, she messed with the bull. She got the horns. And I'm sorry. Couldn't help myself. Sapicki's going to get the horns if he keeps going after my raccoon bill. I don't like it.
Summer study, dude. That's what he keeps saying.
That's what he keeps saying. Summer study. I'm like, people can kill your bills too. I mean, I don't know that I'm those people, but somebody can.
You got to get elected first, Brother Murphy.
Well, you don't
be a lobbyist like that story you were telling.
Oh, yeah, a lot. But the power behind the throne.
Yes, sir.
A little lobbyist action. There you go. Those lobbyists, man. I mean, I'm sure some of them do good work, but for the most part, they're just kind of sleazy. They really. No, I don't know enough. I've not been in the halls of the Tennessee General Assembly quite enough, but I've seen enough to know it's similar to the way that it was in Alabama. They walk around. In Alabama, they had to have, I called them the green card, blue card brigade, Ken, because if you were I think I've got this right. If you were a corporate lobbyist, you had a little green card on you had to have a name badge, and it was in green.
Right.
And it said your name. And if you were a government lobbyist, so if you worked for some sort of government agency begging for money, you had a blue card. So I called them the green card, blue card brigade. And they walked around the halls of the Alabama legislature like they owned the joint. And maybe they did. And I don't see that so much in the General Assembly in Tennessee, but it's there. You can kind of say it. They don't have the cards on. But when you pass a lot, if you're just average Joe Q citizen, like if Cameron Smith, Matt Murphy, Ken Weaver, and young Action Jackson went up to the General Assembly, we would get looked at funny, and it's all from lobbyists. And you know what? The way they're looking at you is like, what are y'all doing here?
Yeah, well, you don't have any business here.
You don't belong here. I'm like, this is my house. I most certainly do belong here. Thank you very much.
It's the people's house.
That's exactly right. So, yeah, anyway, Sapicki, summer study.
We got to amend that bill, though,
Why do we have to amend the bill?
for the squirrels and the chipmunks. And
Stop screwing around with the bill. We've got to get the raccoons first, and I'm telling y'all, we gotta crawl, then walk, then run.
Well, see, you've made a mistake.
You start screwing around with it, and it will go to summer study.
Starts getting a lot of pork in it.
Man, I see. Well, now Ken wants the pigs. You start with the squirrels, and then you go to the chickens, and now it's the pigs.
Can't you legally own pigs already, though?
I don't know. I would assume you can.
You may not be.
One of those
That's
little
interesting.
One of those little pot bellies.
Oh, yeah, those little pot-bellied pigs that grow to be 400 pounds.
We had no idea. There's the internet. You could just look it up.
How big's this pig going to be? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't need this in my house.
I probably don't need this pig. I thought it would be, 20 pounds forever.
They said it was a teacup pig.
It ain't my teacup.
And everything else in my house. We got a fun show for you today, fellas. We hope that you are able to spend all the 4 hours with us today. We've got lots to get into and lots to talk about, not the least of which is the raccoon bill. Frijay's coming up. Frijay with Jay St. Clair in the 4 o'clock hour. At 3:35 this afternoon, Laverne Mayor Jason Cole, who is going after, let me tell you something. Y'all need to understand, if you are a part of management within NES, if you are a part of that structure at all, y'all can try to lobby the legislature all you want. You can send as many paid lobbyists up there to the legislative session all you want. But the bottom line is this. If you do not concern yourself with the needs of your customers, leadership in these communities that feel underserved, they are going to do what they need to do. We saw this from the Columbia Power and Water grab, where Columbia Power and Water convinced the city of Columbia to vote on and approve a $500 million proposal that they have to borrow money from the Tennessee General Assembly, generally speaking, the state of Tennessee, in order to do repair and construction efforts on intakes and water processing and all of that sort of thing. Well, the surrounding communities that somewhat depend on this water resource, the Columbia Power and Water system, they're like, wait a minute. We're not going to move our rates up consistent with what you are moving your rates up to pay for all of this and pass that along to our consumers when there are other options available for us to figure out how we can get water to our consumers. So the city of Mount Pleasant is doing it. The city of Spring Hill is doing it. Unincorporated Murray County, it's my understanding, they're working toward doing it as well. Doing what? Finding other water resources and leaving the Columbia Power and Water system, which is going to further increase ratepayers' amounts that they have to pay every month if they lose customers off the system. Y'all follow me? This is a matter of the free, and I understand that it's municipality-based, but this is how capitalism in the free market works. The path of least resistance and the path that causes the least amount of harm to the people that you are responsible for. And the same thing will happen when it comes to electricity. And the mayor of Laverne is saying, hey, if y'all aren't answering to the ratepayers, if you're not going to speak to the needs of my constituents, we'll go somewhere else and get electricity, by God. And so we'll talk to the mayor of Laverne coming up because they're seriously talking about figuring out a way to drop Nashville Electric service and figure out a way to expand service from Middle Tennessee Electric or some other electricity provider. We'll talk to Mayor Jason Cole coming up at 3:35 this afternoon. I mentioned Frijay at 4:05 this afternoon. Apparently, there was some anti-ICE protesting going on in the city of Mount Juliet. It's my understanding. I got a tip on that, and I'm gonna delve into it and see what we can find out. The Trump administration touting some great economic news, and the economic news was pretty good. They also announced that they are ending the official crackdown in Minnesota, immigration enforcement crackdown. They made over 4,000 arrests, also announcing that they had found over 3,364 missing, unaccompanied alien children. Children that the last administration lost, and according to Tom Homan, weren't even looking for. Now, imagine for a moment if the roles were reversed and a Republican administration had been responsible for young children coming into the United States of America and just disappearing. How many did they find in Memphis? It was in the hundreds. I don't know that it reached 1,000. And in Minnesota, they have found 3,364 missing, unaccompanied alien children. They can't find their parents anywhere. Now, we were told that the figure nationwide was somewhere in the neighborhood of 300,000. 300,000 missing children. And you can't get a story on this on #NeverCNN. Why is that? Why wouldn't ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, or whatever the hell they're calling themselves now, #NeverCNN, and on, why wouldn't the New York Times or the Washington Compost invest a little time and energy in doing a story about these children? They claim to care about families. They claim to care about aliens, illegal aliens and otherwise. So if they truly did, why wouldn't they do these stories? Because it's the Trump administration that's solving the problem that the Biden administration and before him the Obama administration created. And the first question that these organizations ask of themselves, either overtly or covertly, is this good for our side? And if it's not, they spike the story. And that's not journalism. That's not doing the news, boys. That is putting your thumb on the scale. That is advocacy. And it's why that these news organizations are a failing medium. Now, on this radio show, we put our thumb on the scale all the time. Of course we do. I present the facts of a situation. I offer you an opportunity to opine on said situation. I give you my strong opinions on the issue, and then we can hash it out. We can debate it. You can disagree with me. I can disagree with you. We can agree with one another. It doesn't matter. We are under no illusions that this is objective radio. This is subjective radio. We are honest with you. If the news media was honest with me, I wouldn't have nearly the problem that I do with them. As a matter of fact, you rarely hear me talk negatively about MSNBC because they don't make any bones about it. We present the news from a leftist viewpoint. The one that pisses me off more than anything is CNN because they like to pretend like they're objective. Garbage. So, no, you won't hear about any of this on these major mainstream networks because that's good, positive work the Trump administration is doing. Instead, they're going to run story after story after story after story about how awful ICE is and how dehumanized they are and how gross they treat illegal aliens around here and how the Trump immigration policy is ruining the United States of America. It's not the Trump administration policy. It is the law of this country. Trump just happens to be the only president in my lifetime, absent perhaps Ronald Reagan, with the stones to do anything about it. So anyway, that's how we start the show. I'm on a toot today. We had a good time yesterday. We're going to have a good time today. I'd love to hear from you. It's a First Amendment Freestyle Friday. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Give us a call on The Murphy Show on Super Talk. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy. Gentlemen, let's talk directly about this situation impacting your relationship, your mental health, and even your sense of identity. I'm talking about a loss of ability in the bedroom. If you lose this ability, there is a problem there, but there's good news. There's real help available for you. Since 2014, Tennessee Men's Clinic has helped thousands of men get back to feeling like themselves. First in Midtown, now Cool Springs and Clarksville. No matter where you are in Middle Tennessee, expert care is close by. These are not cookie-cutter treatments. Tennessee Men's Clinic is urology-based and staffed with multiple licensed providers that specialize in men's health. If you're dealing with mild or moderate ED or a different type of situation, they can assist you. Men, don't wait around. Don't utilize the internet and pretend like that's going to help you. Get real conversation going and real help available right here in Middle Tennessee. Only $99 for your initial appointment, 615-208-9090, 615-208-9090, or online at TennesseeMen'sClinic.com.
Don Lemon pleaded not guilty today. Details at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm looking at this smarmy Gavin Newsom on my television screen right now, monitor number 2. That would be the governor of the state of California. He's also obviously running for president of the United States of America. It's so obvious on its face. And he's like screaming and yelling about Donald Trump. What did he call? He said Donald Trump was the most divisive president or the worst president or the most destructive president is in the last whatever amount of time. I think he said ever. And my question would be, can you not think of another president that might have been more destructive or more divisive than Donald Trump? I don't know. Woodrow Wilson, he was a socialist. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was kind of leaning towards socialism, particularly Eleanor. Eleanor was a real socialist. She tried to convince Franklin to go down that route, and the war got in the way. Anyway, we might get into that coming up in just a couple of minutes on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Right now, it's James' turn. James, what's going on in Lebanon?
Not much, buddy. I'm driving my 18-wheeler, but I had to tell you, my youngest son called me earlier. He got off work, and he had to go by Mount Juliet High School, and he was talking about all the kids out there with the Mexican flags and the Puerto Rican flags, Argentina flags, all of them out there screaming. My son made me very proud. He turned on Ice Ice Baby and rolled it up just as high as he could, and they, of course, they was out there flipping him the bird. But this morning, I think it was from 9 to 12 guy. He was talking to somebody, and he made their statement, well, what can we do to these kids? What can we do to make them not march? My dad didn't have no problem keeping me from marching. My dad, he had a pair of stones the size of boulders, and when he told you to get your ass in that school bus, and in that class, he meant it. And that's what needs to be with men nowadays. Be dads. Don't be buddies. Be dads. Be a father. And that's the problem. We've got a bunch of spineless bums for fathers out there, and they letting their kids do this crap, and you know it's wrong. Here's my 2 cents.
I love it. That was more than 2 cents. That was like 2 bits, James. That was a $50 worth of rant. You had your rant pants on, James, and I absolutely love it. You are exactly right, my friend. My grandfather, the finest man, in my opinion, that has ever walked the face of the earth. My grandfather, I love him every day. I miss him every day. But when I was a kid, my grandfather had zero interest in being my pal. Zero interest in being my buddy. He had every interest in turning me into a man. His interest was to make sure that I did things the way that they ought to be done and to make sure that there are rules in this world and there are consequences for violating them. And you can make decisions that might violate some of the basic rules of the road, but you have to bear the brunt of the consequences when you do. You have to take responsibility for yourself when you do. And I thank God for having him every single day. Now, you know what's amazing? My grandfather had no interest in being my buddy. And at some point, he became my best friend. Isn't that interesting how that happens? When you grow into that, when that relationship changes from a father-son-based relationship into a relationship of peers, it's a magical thing. And it happens naturally when raised properly. Preach it, James. I absolutely love it. It's 31 after the hour on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Several activists and former CNN host turned self-proclaimed independent journalist Don Lemon pleaded not guilty in a Minneapolis courtroom today of federal civil rights charges following that protest at a church where an immigration and customs enforcement official is a pastor.
I will not be intimidated. I will not back down. I will fight these baseless charges, and I will not be silenced.
Meanwhile, Immigration and Customs Enforcement says it is now taking disciplinary action against 2 officers who were involved in a high-profile shooting in Minneapolis. A Venezuelan man shot in the leg. Now ICE says the circumstances around the shooting are under active investigation. Here in Nashville, Metro Police have named a suspect in the shooting death of another man during a Facebook marketplace exchange last night in Antioch. 41-year-old Alexander Sanchez Montillo was shot at a home on Winton Drive where he had gone to buy a car. He later died at the hospital. Police are searching for 21-year-old Jonathan Gonzalez, who now faces homicide-related charges. And a bill that would allow public and charter schools to display the Ten Commandments is advancing in the Tennessee legislature. House Bill 47 gives local school boards the authority to post the commandments alongside documents like the U.S. Constitution and Declaration of Independence. News Channel 5 says there was fervent debate. House Education Subcommittee Chair Scott Sapicki.
I hope all 147 school districts will do this to make sure our kids ask questions.
Democratic State Rep Harold Love, who is a pastor.
I know this bill does not address other faith traditions being able to also display their laws as a historical document.
So News Channel 5 says every Republican voted for it. Some Democrats voted against it. Other Democrats didn't vote at all. The bill now heads to the Senate for consideration. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, TDOT is showing a problem on 65 southbound right there near Harding Place. Looks like there is some debris blocking the two center lanes, southbound 65 there just south of 440 there around Harding Place. Elsewhere, we've got a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow, then 24 eastbound past Harding Place, 24 westbound, a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane. There at Murfreesboro Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN, 39 minutes after the hour. So apparently I'm being told that hashtag never CNN, I did not see some of this last evening. They're denying that these 3,000 plus children actually exist in Minnesota. So that's what they do now. They just deny the reality of this situation if it does not fit the narrative that they want to present to their disillusioned and more often than not, fact-lacking listeners or viewers. In the meantime, 615-737-9986. We'll get back to your telephone calls after a great conversation with the mayor of La Vergne, Jason Cole. We've been following and covering, and I'm not letting it go, friends. NES failed. The National Electric Service failed their customer base, and sadly, there are many customers that can only turn to NES for service that have no ability to do anything about it because they don't have any ability to elect better representation that then could present better board members who would hire a better CEO. The levels of bureaucracy are infuriating, and I feel like I can say this with a fair degree of certainty. I'm not the only one that's frustrated about it. I believe the La Vergne mayor is frustrated as well. He is Jason Cole, and he joins us on the program yet again to talk about this issue. Mayor, good afternoon. Welcome in.
Good afternoon. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. Are you you seem to be as frustrated as anyone that you can't get appropriate answers from elected officials or members of the NES board or the CEO. You seem to be trying as best you can to represent your constituencies that are bound by the monopoly that is NES. Just talk to us about this effort.
Well, NES is pretending like it's CNN, and it's just pretending like we don't exist until bills are due, that is. But they have not responded to the letter from State Representatives Robert Stevens and Mike Sparks and myself. I will be drafting and sending out Monday another letter to the CEO of NES to attend our next Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting and to answer questions from the board.
And I want to make sure that folks understand this is not an insignificant amount of people. I mean, you're the mayor of a city that you guys have over 40,000 people now, right?
We're over 42,000.
Okay.
And the area that this affects is the largest subdivision in the state of Tennessee, the third largest for the country.
And I'm fascinated by the fact that as much as you attempt to reach out, I mean, what would you like, just lay it out there for the folks, what would you like to talk with NES about or Mayor Freddie O'Connell about with regard to the action or lack thereof during this ice storm?
I want to know the pre-planning that went on beforehand, and then when the storm actually hit, what decisions, who were making what decisions as far as whose power got turned on in what priority, and what they can do better going forward. This isn't the first time we've had an ice storm. I've lived here all my life. I can remember 94. I can remember 2009. So this isn't just an anomaly storm. And they can come up with those kind of answers, and they can explain to our residents why they needed to sit so long in the cold.
Well, these are great questions to be asked, and sadly, they are loath to present themselves for answers. Instead, they seem busy hiring lobbyists to go to the General Assembly to try to protect themselves, Mayor.
And that's very concerning, that rather than having conversations with their customers and with the elected officials of the areas that they serve, they're instead spending money to lobby the state to protect themselves.
Well, it was concerning to us as we found out, and we've much discussed the fact that so many of the customer base of NES really has no opportunity to demand a change because they live outside of the area that actually selects the board members that then go on to select the CEO. But you, as mayor of La Vergne, you've taken it upon yourself to say, look, we can look at other options. There are ways that we can figure this out long term, that we don't have to depend on an organization that doesn't seem to care very much about the customers that exist in La Vergne. Talk about the possibility of making some changes.
Yes, there's opportunities. A good portion of our city is already working with Middle Tennessee Electric, did not experience power outages during the storm and has great response times. We're just saying, as the Bible says, let our people go.
Mm-hmm.
And let us participate with them.
What do you think would have to go into that, Mayor? I mean, have you gone so far as to figure out exact structurally or functionally how you could make that happen?
Yes, NES and Middle Tennessee Electric would need to come to an agreement on their infrastructure, whether it's trade out, whether it's purchase, and then from there, the state has to approve it, and we're not 100% sure if TVA has to review it. We don't necessarily think so, since both NES and Middle Tennessee Electric get all their power from TVA. It really wouldn't impact them.
And are you at a point where you feel like what happened, the pre-planning or lack thereof, the lack of vegetation management, and then in the aftermath, the lack of accountability, for you, does this demand a change at the higher echelons of management at NES? In other words, would you call for the removal of the CEO at this point?
At this point, I would say it would probably take more than just the removal of the CEO, because there are multiple levels of failure throughout this. And yes, it starts at the top and works its way down.
Obviously we are talking to members of the General Assembly that are discussing the possibility of somewhat of a takeover. I mean, not necessarily a takeover, but a move toward even a co-op situation. I think MTE is a co-op, and it seems to run very, very well. Would this preclude a move to MTE if you saw some changes from the legislature in terms of structure of NES? Would that put your decision making on hold, Mayor?
It depends on the representation style. With MTE's co-op, we actually have residents who sit on their board and who represent our area. So it would honestly depend on what that structure looked like for them.
I mean, I'm just shocked that the mayor of a city with over 42. And what is the breakdown NES to MTE? Do you know off the top of your head the kind of the basic percentages of how many of your residents are NES customers versus MTE customers?
It's about 70-30 NES.
Okay, so NES is the majority.
Yes.
Well, it's got to be frustrating that you have that many customers on NES and you can't even get a return telephone call during business hours?
It's a shame. They should really have an ongoing open relationship with all of the governments that they service. And that's what open transparency is. But for some reason, that's being heard on deaf ears.
The difference is, and you lived through it, your residents lived through it, but for those listening to us right now, talk about the differences between what the MTE customers in Laverne experienced versus the NES customers.
The MTE customers did not have power outages. We had a few tree limbs come down, but not a single one took out a line.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those residents in Laverne who have MTE did not experience any power disruption. The other side of I-24, though, you had tree limbs coming down on lines, you had transformers blowing fuses, and you had people sitting in the dark and in the cold for days. And NES could provide no answers.
Well, and the reason I asked that question, Mayor, is when I press that NES was the failure here, some folks are pushing back, these supporters of NES, and say, well, the storm hit the NES region harder than it hit other places. They want to, and I don't believe it for a second. They say, oh, well, the storm hit Davidson County harder. Well, so they would suggest to me that storm somehow knew where NES customers were and where Middle Tennessee Electric customers were in the city of Laverne. And it's just the facts don't bear out that type of language. It's just not true.
Yeah, storms don't follow utility line districts. And so it's a difference in structure and how they go about maintaining their area.
So next for you is a follow-up letter, I suppose, on Monday. Is that right?
Yes, I'll be sending over a letter on Monday asking for the CEO and her staff to come before our next board meeting, which is at the beginning of March, and to answer questions from the board.
Well, hopefully they're not too busy lobbying the General Assembly to try to protect their own jobs, and they will be answerable to the customers that pay their salaries. I appreciate you holding their feet to the fire, Mayor. I appreciate leadership like yours. I wish we saw the same level of leadership in Nashville, Tennessee. But sadly, I don't see a lot coming out of Nashville, but I see a lot happening in Laverne, and we appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
All right, take care. Well, have a great weekend, and we'll be following up with you next week, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
All right,
you.
take care. There's Mayor. Look, Jason Cole is straight to the point, no nonsense, no filibuster, just answers the questions and gets it done for his constituents, and that's good leadership there. You heard what he said, that on the NES side, you had massive power outages, power out for days. On the MTE side, it didn't happen. Now, this just goes directly against this nonsense narrative that supporters and defenders of NES want to present, that, oh, well, we were just hit harder. Our area was just more. No, it was decision-making that you made regarding canopies, refusal to cut back vegetation. And if that's the case, I've said it 1,000 times by now. Y'all have heard it. If that's the case, that's fine. But you have to understand the consequences of your actions when you do that. If you decide not to cut down the trees because that's what your people want, then you have to err on the side of caution at any suggestion that there's going to be ice. Because you should know that any ice is going to impact you exponentially worse than it's going to impact those residents of those communities that cut their vegetation back. Y'all understand what I'm saying? You can do it that way, but when you do it that way, when an ice storm comes, you better have the linemen ready. You better have the chainsaws ready. You better have the power poles ready, because if you don't, you're going to be without power for 2 weeks. And if some loudmouth knucklehead on a radio station understands this, why in the hell does the CEO that makes $350,000 a year on the back of the ratepayers not understand it? Doesn't make any sense. And you know what's equally infuriating? And once again, I know I've been chewing on this bone for 2 weeks, and I'm going to continue to gnaw on that thing until it's gone. Nobody can fire anybody. Nobody can fire anybody. I'm being told that literally no one but the board of NES can fire the CEO that they hired. So they have to look at the ratepayers and admit that they made a mistake when they hired Teresa Broyles Applin. And apparently at least two of these people said, oh, she did a great job. That's what they said. That's what they said. Vice Chair Robert McCabe and Chair Ann Davis are both on the record. And it's my understanding it takes a unanimous vote of the board in order to boot the CEO. And, oh, by the way, nobody seems to know who can fire the board either. Mayor Freddie O'Connell says he can't do it. They're claiming that now it takes 3/4 of the Metro Council. So 30 of these liberal knuckleheads on the Metro Council, these bought and paid for liberals on the Metro Council, 30 of them have to vote to remove some of the board members. 30 out of the 40. In the meantime, McCabe, the board vice chair, said, and I'm quoting him here, this is such an insult, I think we did a superb job operationally. Huh. Another board member, Santos, was asked how NES performed in handling the storm and whether the board shared responsibility. The board's responsibility is hiring our CEO, and I think our CEO is doing an excellent job at NES. Oh, my God. Yuck. You other communities that have NES customers, y'all need to look into getting rid of NES and moving on to another electric service, because NES is not getting the job done. And it's high time that Rutherford County and, I guess, portions of Cheatham County, or any Sumner County, Williamson County, y'all need to look elsewhere. If this is the way they're going to treat you, move on down the road. 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Friends, Grace Point is a military veteran-owned practice in Franklin. Now, that is not the sole reason that you would go to Grace Point, but boy, it sure is a bonus. I love the way that they treat their customers. Patients are treated naturally whenever possible. At Grace Point, for example, they believe vaccinations are a personal choice between you and your medical provider, and all vaccinations are administered with preservative-free ingredients should you decide to go that route. Bottom line is this. They believe in the sacrosanct nature between the doctor-patient relationship, and they're never going to let pharmaceutical or insurance companies get in the way of that relationship between you and your doctor. That's the way they do it. It's why they're a direct pay facility. It's why they encourage you to sign up for the Smart Care plan, which is $99 a month for grown-ups, $79 a month for the kids, and you can pay through your HSA account. So you don't have to pay directly out of pocket, and you get unlimited office visits throughout the course of the year, plus free basic labs and diagnostics. What about it? Ask them about it when you make the call, 599-6868, 599-6868. You really can afford exceptional medicine at your convenience. It's modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way at Grace Point Healthcare.
4 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, Laverne Mayor Jason Cole telling WTN's Matt Murphy Show his next steps in getting representation on the NES governing board over the response to the winter storm.
They have not responded to the letter from State Representatives Robert Stevens and Mike Sparks and myself. I will be drafting and sending out Monday another letter to the CEO of NES to attend our next Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting and to answer questions from the board.
Sumner County and Williamson County officials requesting NES board representation, too. Iran nuclear negotiations. President Trump was asked what could prevent a U.S. military strike on Iran as a second aircraft carrier is preparing to deploy to the region.
Give us the deal that they should have given us the first time. If they give us the right deal, we won't do that. But, historically, they haven't done that. I will say they want to talk, but so far they do a lot of talking and no action.
Former CNN host turned self-proclaimed independent journalist Don Lemon came out of a Minnesota courtroom today after pleading not guilty to civil rights violations for his role in that church ICE protest in Minneapolis.
This isn't just about me. This is about all journalists, especially here in the United States.
Several activists who were arrested for the same thing pleaded not guilty. Back here in Nashville, Metro Police looking for a 21-year-old man accused of shooting and killing a Nashville resident during an attempted Facebook Marketplace sale in Antioch last night. Alexander Sanchez Montilla was wounded in both legs but later died at the hospital. Detectives say he was in the garage of a Winton Drive home when the shots were fired. He had gone there to look into buying a car. Arrest warrants charge Jonathan Gonzalez with multiple felonies, including criminal homicide. And a new measure clearing the Tennessee House would let schools display the Ten Commandments in public areas alongside other historic documents such as the Bill of Rights or maybe the Tennessee Constitution. News Channel 5 says there was what it described as fervent debate before the vote. Every Republican voted for it.
The pure fact of the matter is our Tennessee Constitution asserts that every man has a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God. That's the same one whose finger wrote those commands in a stone. Doesn't mention any of the other false gods.
Well, some Democrats voted against it while others didn't vote at all.
I don't think passing legislation is going to change anybody's mind about God.
Senate will now decide whether that bill moves forward. And a bill moving through the Tennessee House would allow private individuals and groups to decline recognition of same-sex marriages. The legislation also shields people from lawsuits if they choose not to officiate those marriages. Supporters say the measure protects personal and religious freedoms. Opponents argue it undermines equal rights and fuels fear among LGBTQ plus Tennesseans. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. In Antioch, got a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Lebanon, a wreck 40 eastbound at I-840. Antioch, a crash left shoulder 24 eastbound past Harding Place. And in Woodbine, a disabled vehicle blocking the left lane 24 westbound near Murfreesboro Road. On the South Loop downtown, got a crash blocking the right lane 40 eastbound at 4th Avenue, exit 210C. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're entering hour number 2 of our Friday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show, about to officially engage Frijay. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes after I delve into the pleasantries and say hello, welcome in, glad you're here. It's a First Amendment Freestyle Friday. Any thoughts you have on your mind? 615-737-9986. We'd love to hear from you. 615-737-9986. So a couple of things. Number one, you need to go ahead and get over to 997WTN.com and sign up for our steak. See what we did there of the Union. Big fun festivities at Legends Steakhouse. That's happening on the 24th of this month. Join us, Matt Murphy, Dan Mandis, Chad Benson, Chris Hand, and a cast of others. I don't know if Weaver's going to be there or not. I hope he is. If he is, I'll buy him a steak.
I'm doing my news there.
Holy moly, it's a party. I love it. Between bites of delicious. How do you like your steak, Ken?
I like it a little bit bloody.
Okay.
But I do like the fat to be crispy.
Listen, we talked about this fat thing yesterday, and I'm a big fan of steak fat.
Yeah, don't take my fat off.
No.
Leave the fat on.
No, if y'all, if anybody from over at Legends, if y'all happen to be listening right now, I think I can speak for Ken Weaver when I say this. If I look finished and there's a little fat still on the plate, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Don't take that plate. I know you want to take it quick and get the table nice and clean, but don't take that plate yet.
No, do not do that.
Come break bread with Weaver and Hand and Benson and Mandis and Murphy and all the rest of the crew as we build up anticipation to the State of the Union address with our Steak of the Union event. February the 24th at Legends Steakhouse in Smyrna. We would love to see you. You get this is limited seating, folks, and it's going fast. There are still seats available, but you need to go ahead and lock these down at 997WTN.com. You will get a 9-ounce Legends sirloin, which is delicious. 2 sides, salad bar, strawberry cake, which if I have a favorite kind of cake, it's strawberry. Love it. Absolutely love it. That includes a beverage of your choice, non-alcoholic. Now, you can get yourself an alcoholic beverage, but you have to pay for that on top of this. And tax and gratuity, $100. And so it's well worth that. And just in terms of the meal that you're going to get, but you're going to get camaraderie. You'll get a lot of fellowship. You'll get a lot of no-nonsense conversation about what's going on in the United States of America. Plus, we get to meet you, take pictures, say hello, shake hands, do whatever. Get yours before they are gone. Once again, 100 tickets available, and that's it. So you need to go ahead and make your reservation. 997WTN.com. That's 997WTN.com for our Steak of the Union. And if you've not, have you seen Mandis's promotional reel on this, Ken?
No.
Oh, you need.
What's Brother Dan doing?
So Dan decided that he was going to do steak puns.
That's Brother Dan.
He did a number. So I'll just give you the first one he does is, hey guys, Dan Mandis here. He says, you know what type of steak is Elizabeth Warren's favorite? The tomahawk. Hey-o. I mean, and then it just gets worse from there. But you got to go watch it. It's up on Facebook and on all the social medias. Just look for the tomahawk, and he just sits there. He just sits there. He just, you got to wait for it. You got to wait for the laugh. Wait for the laugh line. And there's many others. He said that I think one of them was he said, I believe that Donald Trump's State of the Union address will be well done. You see him doing it. You can see him doing it.
Oh, my gosh.
You can literally see him doing it by going over to supertalk997wtn.com. And I have a feeling that I know who put him up to it. And her name is Amy Mandis.
Yeah. No, I don't think Amy did, man. I think that's all Dan.
You think that's all Brother Dan?
All Brother Dan.
Well, you go watch it. It's pretty funny. You can find it on Super Talks, all our social medias. It's pretty good. But yeah, Dan will be there. We'll be there. The whole crew will be there. And if you want to throw maters at us or, give us attaboys, that's all up to you. 11 minutes after the hour, friends, we've already got folks lining up on the Super text line. We've already got folks lining up on the phone lines. Same number, 615-737-9986. You line up with your legal questions. You get legal answers. It's Frijay.
Good morning, Americans. It's Frijay.
Somebody said Dan's favorite steak is a Miss Steak. Yeah. All right, friends and neighbors, it's time to welcome into these fun festivities, these Friday festivities, my best friend in the world, my golfing partner, my gambling buddy. He also happens to be the finest legal mind I've ever had the opportunity to meet, and he joins us on these Fridays to offer free legal advice, which he often advises us is worth every penny you pay for it. His name is Jay St. Clair. It's Frijay. Jay, I have a question for you. It was a great build-up. It was a perfect crescendo to a moment in time. And sadly, it is all for naught as our technical difficulties continue on the television. We're trying to service the television side. Just to let you guys know what's going on right now.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Jay!
Hey, man, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Man, I'm not doing real good.
Uh-oh.
I've got a problem.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
What you got going on?
Well, the CD player in my truck quit working. And so I said, well, that's, nothing lasts forever, right? So I said, I'll just go buy a new CD player.
Uh-oh.
Well, I was shocked
Uh-huh.
to learn that they do not sell brand new CD players for my truck. They don't sell them, man. I'm shocked. And all my music is CD. I have zero digital music.
Right.
And so I have a choice. I've got choices.
Okay.
I can't get salvage radios that they've taken it out of. You got to buy the whole radio and CD together.
Oh, right.
And so you can go find a truck that somebody wrecked 15 years ago and they took the radio out of it.
Right.
I can buy that off eBay. That's door number one.
Uh-huh.
Door number two is an 8-track player. That's really what I want to do.
An 8-track player.
Yeah, put an 8-track player in there. And I can't believe the CD has gone the way of the dinosaur because that's all I've got. And then I guess door number three would be to go digital, but I don't know how to do that. I don't want to spend the money to do that.
I thought of a fourth door.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, my door number 4 won't work because that would involve digital. Because my door number 4 was go get off your wallet and buy a new truck. But if you do that, it won't have a CD player.
No, I guarantee it won't have a CD. Probably won't have a key.
No, it won't have a key either.
Oh.
Well, and I know how much pride you have in Jackson.
Yep. That's right.
I wonder if my Jackson knows that your truck is named Jackson.
No,
You got a truck named Jackson?
Absolutely. Old Hickory. I name all my. Well, my foreign car is a girl.
Uh-huh.
But this truck's a man.
Uh-huh.
And I thought about it, and it's General Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It fits him perfectly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It does. It does. I had the opportunity to drive General Jackson one time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And he drives great and performs great. And I know you take
Yeah.
pride in the fact that he's doing after a lot of years you've had that
Yeah.
truck.
Right, 15 years. Yeah, the only problem now is all you can get is AEM.
Have I ever told you what my truck's name is?
No.
I bet.
No, I bet no. I think. Wait a minute. I'm lying here with somebody on my mind.
No, see, that was the Ford. That was the
Linda,
F-150.
Linda. Okay,
The F-150 was Linda, named after my mama. But
Right.
I didn't feel right when I got the new truck, the GMC, to swap names. That seemed weird, and so the new truck is Jolene.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, and you know why.
I still want to know what Jolene was packing. I don't know how high the scale goes, but she was way above 10.
Yeah. If y'all have never seen that meme, y'all need to go look it up because typically it's Dolly Parton in the Best Little Whorehouse movie in that little outfit, and it goes, "Y'all, I don't know what Jolene was packing, but she must have been doing something right." Because obviously the song is all about Jolene stealing Dolly's man.
Right.
Like, woo.
And she says she based that on true story. Some lady at the post office, I think.
What? I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's embellished it a little bit, But
Oh, yeah.
I think it was, it's either the bank or the post office.
Well, I know this is true because I've heard her say it with her own lips that she wrote Jolene and I Will Always Love You.
Same day.
In the same day.
That was a good day.
That was a good day for country music. There's no question.
She made a lot of money that day.
Yep, she sure did. And wrote I Will Always Love You for Porter Wagner.
Yep.
Because
when she was going to tell him she was leaving.
Yeah, that was her way of telling him she was leaving the show.
Right.
Good for her. Man, that's great. All right, Jay, we got to figure out your CD deal, man. We can't have now.
Well, I figure somebody listening to this will have.
There's no question. So it's interesting that you bring up CDs because CDs were part of the reason that you and I didn't have Frijay last week because my wife will not give up the CDs.
Well, of course not. That's a no-brainer.
If I see you next Sunday, because I know we might see each other next Sunday, and I'm looking forward to it if we do,
right.
I'm going to show you where the CDs went. And I'm going to show you why my back went out because I had to lug those CDs downstairs to put them in a special place so Erica could have access to them because, my goodness gracious, she's got to have her CDs.
Way to go, E.
Well, I think you could get, is there a way? Well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. My inclination, just based on the information you've given me, is to go to go eBay to find a
unit. That's what I'm going to do. I bought a lot of stuff on Corvette off of eBay. I don't really care about the track car, and it's actually been pretty good stuff. And I want it to be the factory original, just so that it fits right, and it hooks up right. So I think that's what I'll do. It's $150, and it's the whole unit, the CD and the radio player all built as one unit.
Folks are begging to know what year and model your truck is.
It is a 2010 truck, and it is a Toyota Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
And that pains me a little bit to say that, Matt. I'm a Chevy guy. You and I have had this conversation many times. Grew up Chevrolet. That's just the way it was. But Chevrolet lost me in the 1980s. It was just crap. It was just awful. Yeah. And then these Toyotas came along, and it's my third, I guess, Tundra, and they're just so good. I can't bring myself to go. I'd love to be driving a Chevy truck, but I can't make myself do it with these Tundras being so good.
And that's why St. Clair has a shine for the number 11 car that'll be driving this weekend. He can't help but like him because of that Toyota affiliation.
Yeah.
Jay, a lot of folks are already lining up, and some of them, I bet you, have some response to your CD dilemma. So we can talk about that too. 20 after the hour. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take the time out now, and then when we come back, questions abound for Jay St. Clair on Frijay on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Contours LLC. Friends, we all are getting a little bit older. And, frankly, Keith and Stephanie over at Contours, they can't fix my ugly. But you know what they could do? They can take inches off of my midsection. They can take inches off of where you want inches off of with Contours. Friends, if you eat right and you're exercising, the reality is sometimes you get to a certain age, or just sometimes it is a fact that you can't get the weight off. You can't get the inches off that you're looking to get off. My friends at Contours in Cool Springs, they're here to help you. Whether you're male or female, they help everybody get the inches down to a reasonable number. Now, $99 is their Belly Buster special. What that gets you, you get into the door. Keith will sit down with you or Stephanie, and they'll talk with you about exactly what they do with the red light technology, the ultra slim body contouring, which guarantees you'll lose 2 inches. Your first treatment, or that treatment's free. So it's $99 for that treatment. And if you don't lose 2 inches, first visit, it's free. I lost 2.67 inches around my midsection at Contours LLC. First visit. Go to contoursllc.com. That's contoursllc.com and sign up today, or just give them a call. They'll answer the phone right now. 615-236-9960. Tell them I sent you. 615-236-9960. Ask about the Murphy special when you call Contours and contoursllc.com.
Got a Nancy Guthrie case update coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk. Hello. There it is. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I love our listeners. I love our listeners. Jay, they are just inundating me with ideas for you about solving your issue. And some of them are being very snarky and telling you to get in the 21st century and put some music on your phone. And I know that you're not going to do that, so I'm not even going to bring that up. But,
Matt, the 21st century has not turned out like it thought it would.
You told me that for years. It's one of my favorite lines. And you're right, because it's so true. But what's wearing me out is that folks are sending me messages on the super text line telling me the name of their truck, which I love. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, my name's truck is Chief. My name's truck is Sally. I've got a George. That's a pretty good name for a truck.
Ooh,
George.
nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
George.
My brother listens to the show, Jay. And my brother has now said, Brian, much to my delight, my brother listens to the show when he can. And he said, tell Jay I can put a CD player in his Tundra and show him how to convert the entire collection to digital for free. Well, I don't know if you'll do the second part, but Brian could put the CD player in for you, Jay, once you get it. I can tell you that. Now, Jay, you like doing that sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't have. I've already watched the video of how to replace the radio. It's not that big of a deal. But you just got to get the equipment.
Well, that's true. Speaking of equipment, real quick before we go to phones, I know you can't see me right now, Jay, but I'm holding in my hand something for you. Oh. We just got, you're a coffee guy. I mean,
if you can see me, drinking a cup of coffee right now.
Well, and I have shied away from the coffee at our radio station for a long time because I don't trust it. Right. But I'm going to have to convert over to it because a loyal listener to our show and a fine sponsor, Wally's Bean Machine, Wally just installed a beautiful new coffee maker. It's one of these units that's automated, and it's fancy. I mean, it's fancy. Right.
Yep.
And he brought us, when he came, he brought all of us coffee cups. Ooh. And it's got his logo on there. It says the solid choice, and it's got a little his logo's a little you'll see this when you see the cup. It's a little cup of coffee. It's in a styrofoam cup, and it's got his little name badge on there, and it says Wally. And it's weird because Wally is a cup of coffee, but Wally is holding another cup of coffee.
Cannibalism.
Which is brilliant. Which is kind of good. And it's called Wally's Bean Machine, and he brought Ken Weaver a mug. And he brought Jackson a mug, and he brought me a mug. Mine says "Go Dogs" on it, Jay.
Ooh, cool.
And he brought you a mug, and it says Jay, and then underneath it says Frijay.
Oh, how sweet is that?
How about that? So if I see you a week from Sunday, I will give it to you.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll present.
Well, yeah, and please tell Wally thank you for me.
I will do it. I'll absolutely do it. Yep. All right, Betty, you are up first with Frijay. Good afternoon, Betty.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. St. Clair, Mr. Murphy. Y'all are wonderful. Calling on behalf of a good friend who's also a listener to WTN and Mr. Murphy's show. He's a Marine veteran, and I actually emailed you, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I think, Mr. St. Clair, but he isn't able to work full-time anymore because he has epilepsy. He used to be an executive chef, but, something about fire and sharp knives and seizures doesn't seem to go well together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And his parents that are deceased had set up a trust fund for him before they passed for, whenever the time came when he wasn't able to work anymore, which is now.
Right.
However, since the inception of the trust, he has received zero, none, not a zip, financial documents, accounting, anything. None.
Do you know who the trustee? Does he know who the trustee is?
Yes. I sent you a copy of the will, and I have all the documents from the court because it went through probate, and I can send them in a zip file. But I just figured, I'll start with the will because that's the, the basic nuts and bolts, if you will.
Right.
Yes. According to the will, it was supposed to be his aunt. However, his cousin, her son, is the one who he has to go to for anything. This cousin seems very reluctant to do anything, and I do mean anything. I'm a bean counter by trade. When I found out there were no financial statements ever presented or anything, all these like red audit flags were going up in my head.
Right. So has the estate been closed in probate, Betty? Is that
Yes,
over with?
all done several years ago. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And do you have any feel for the size of the estate? How much money is there? Do you have any sense of that?
$100K or so.
I'm sorry.
Say again.
That's right. 100,000 or so.
100K.
Okay, about 100,000.
Yeah,
So
I'm
a little
I think
curious.
That's right. So
If there was a will set up, and was he the sole beneficiary?
of the trust.
Well, yeah,
he's
but
the only-
this is what has me confused, because normally if there's a trust, then you don't go through probate. So I'm having a
there
little.
were other things in the will besides the trust, I guess. So
Well, what was the
and those
trust?
were dealt with at the time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, was the trust set up separate from the will?
You know, that's beyond my legal comprehension, which
Okay.
is why I'm talking to you, Mr. St. Clair,
Yep.
because I took business law, but it didn't dive into the nuts and bolts, right?
Yeah, no, I get it. So your question, I guess, is what should he do?
Well, I think I know what he needs to do. We need some help. And if you
Yeah.
can't do it, if you have a recommendation, he needs to go to the court and get them to order a forensic audit of the trust.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
give him
right.
copies of all the documentation that he should have.
Yeah, what county is this in?
Davidson.
You know,
Nashville.
here's my suggestion, Betty. And I've talked to this lawyer, and she's given me permission to give her name and telephone number out. I would call Brenda Benson, Benson. Her number
B as in boy or
Yes, B as in
oh,
boy.
it's Brenda.
Brenda,
BR
okay, I'm
BR
sorry.
yeah, Brenda. My East Tennessee accent fails me sometimes.
It's okay.
You know, people wear kind of got rocks in their mouths a lot. So Brenda Benson, Benson.
Okay.
Her number is
Okay.
931 998 0092. Now, Brenda's specialty is disability law, but this kind of touches up against that. But I have faith
Okay.
in her, and if she is not the right person to handle this, she could probably direct you to the person who is. I cannot handle it because I'm not licensed in Tennessee, and you need somebody that's licensed in Tennessee.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I get
Did
that.
you get that? Did you get that number, Betty?
931-998-0092, and it's Benson, B as in boy, E as in Edward, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, O as in Oprah, and N as in Nancy.
Dang, you are a bean counter, aren't you?
Betty, give it a call, and I've got to run. I'm sorry I do. We're running real late, but hope that works out for you, Betty. And that's great stuff. Jay St. Clair is with us for the hour. We'll be back with more questions 34 after. Ken Weaver's newscast is now.
Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Laverne Mayor Jason Cole telling WTN's Matt Murphy Show NES has ignored letters from state lawmakers and himself seeking answers about power outages after the winter storm. So he says he's going to write another letter Monday requesting NES CEO Teresa Broyles-Applin to come to the next Board of Mayor Alderman meeting.
They can come up with those kind of answers, and they can explain to our residents why they needed to sit so long in the cold.
Mayor Cole says Laverne is seeking representation on the NES governing board. Iran nuclear negotiations. President Trump says Iran can avoid a U.S. military attack if they give the U.S. what he calls the right deal. Then he was asked if he wants a leadership change.
Do you want regime change in Iran?
Well, it seems like that would be the best thing that could happen.
President Trump said the USS Gerald Ford is heading to the region. That would make 2 U.S. aircraft carriers there. And efforts remain ongoing to find the mother of NBC Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie taken from her home nearly 2 weeks ago. ABC's Alex Stone's at the Sheriff's Department in Pima County, Arizona.
Today, the sheriff here in Pima County tells ABC News investigators are making progress, but it is slow and very methodical. They have DNA back on multiple gloves that have been found around Pima County, and now work is being done to see if those gloves are related at all to Guthrie's disappearance or if they're just roadside trash. No gloves were found at the scene. 400 deputies are fanned out working on the case, but it remains unknown who took Nancy Guthrie or her whereabouts. Alex Stone, ABC News, Tucson, Arizona.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Lebanon got a crash 40 eastbound right there at I-840. Looks like they just cleared a wreck 24 eastbound at Harding Place, but it's still a parking lot all the way back to 440. Eastbound 440 is a parking lot from 65 over to Nolensville Pike. Northbound 65, you've got a couple of areas where it is complete stop and go right before 440 and then again before you get to the South Loop downtown. I'm Ken Weaver.
If you have issues with your health insurance coverage, if you are frustrated by not getting answers from your current provider, might I recommend a telephone call and a visit with Shane Ring? You call the number, you get an answer, you get Shane or one of his qualified folks on the line, and they will set up an appointment, and you can meet directly with Shane himself. You can sit down in Brentwood, and he will walk you through exactly what's going on with your insurance because he understands coverage, he understands insurance, he understands how it works, and you give him a few pieces of information, and he can roll with it. And he will find out if you have the best coverage available for you, and if so, he'll tell you so. But rarely is this the case. Sadly, insurance companies take advantage of an absence of knowledge, a void of knowledge. Shane fills that void with information, with knowledge, with expertise. He becomes your healthcare concierge. He works for you, not for health insurance companies, and finds the right plans for you right there in his office in Brentwood. Now, you can do it over the phone if you'd like. Same great service over the telephone. But if you want to meet in person, I know I do. I love meeting and talking to my folks one-on-one. Shane can do that for you. Do not trust the government with your health insurance. Trust Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Real health coverage on your terms, not the government. 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or covernash.com. catch me yawning there? Good. Thank you, Jackson. You got my back. I appreciate that. I had a little yawn going on. It's not that I'm bored with the show at all. I think it's been a pretty good one so far. With our guy, Jay St. Clair, Frijay in progress, 42 after the hour. Jackson, yes, you got a comment or a question. You just raised your hand over there.
I feel like we may have a little bit of a hangover from yesterday.
Yeah, we were out about. Hey, Jay, you know what we did yesterday?
No, sir.
We were out at a place called T-Line, which has been in Nashville for about 4 years, and it is a curling place.
Did you win the gold?
Well,
I did, Jay. Matt wouldn't get out there because he's a big sissy.
That is not true. I was doing my radio show, Jay. Jackson was doing a bunch of nothing except eating and drinking. And he went out on the ice. And then when 7 o'clock rolled around, I was ready to go, and they had already scheduled some other event on it, and they wouldn't let me on there. But I told Jackson that when they do it on TV, it looks real fancy. Right. But when Jackson was doing it, curling looked a lot like standing.
Well, that is very clever. You know, the free market is amazing, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And they wanted us out because, I get it. T-Line's like, look, this is our Super Bowl, right? There is never a greater interest in the sport of curling than during the Winter Olympic Games. And and there are a lot of people out there. It was a lot of fun. Let's talk with who's been holding the longest. I want to get to Ricky, who is on with Jay St. Clair on Frijay. Hey, Ricky.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Mr. St. Clair.
Yes, sir.
I run into the same problem you got, and I can tell you exactly how to solve it.
All right.
Get your cellular phone out, open Google, and I've got my phone set up where I can just talk to it. Just say, companies that sell rebuilt automotive stereos.
Right.
There are companies that out here.
Yep,
and,
I got that. I'm all over the rebuilt ones. That's not a problem. I could get a used one. I know how to. Listen, when I was a kid, my dad used to take me out to the junkyard, and we walk around and look for specials. So I know about reclaiming, property.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted a new one. Hey, I figured it's no big deal, right? I mean, it's just go buy a new. No, they don't sell.
That's weird.
These companies I'm talking about take and rebuild them. I mean, they look brand spanking.
I get it. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I had to get the ABS unit in my Corvette done, and I sent it off to a guy, and that's all he does is sit at a bench all day.
That's nice.
So no, I get it, but that's still not new.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just shocked that they are not selling new CD players.
They don't sell. I mean, you're hard pressed to get new 8-track tape players nowadays, too, Jay.
I bet you getting a horse buggy would be kind of hard right now.
You know what I did years ago? I found a bunch of 8-tracks. Ricky, I think that's what Ricky wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky.
I appreciate it.
My grandparents had a bunch of 8-track tapes, and so I found an 8-track tape player.
Yep, that's you.
And I played 8-track tapes off that 8-track tape player.
Absolutely.
And, technology has advanced, Jay. That's just all I'll say. That's just all I'll say. I mean,
it wasn't very good, but when it came, it was like, the first handheld calculator.
Uh-huh.
It did 4 things: add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
That's right.
It cost $600.
Wow.
Texas Instruments. I remember it when I was in college.
But I guess when they came out with the 8-track, that was the first time that you had.
That's it, portable.
You had the ability to play the music you wanted to listen to when you wanted to listen to it in your car.
Unless you want to put your record player out there with a real long extension cord.
Let's talk to Cindy, who's next on Frijay. Hey, Cindy.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. I'm here. Okay.
Hey, Sandy.
So this is yes?
Go ahead, Cindy.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We got you loud and clear.
Excuse me. This is kind of a 2-part question.
Okay.
But it's all about the same thing. I am a cancer patient being treated by one of the major cancer centers in the area, and my insurance paid some claims for a while, and then they quit paying some of those same claims. And I have somebody with the cancer center working very hard with me, with my insurance company, trying to get this resolved. But she was told by the insurance company not to contact them anymore regarding me, because I guess members are only allowed a certain number of disputes. So I'm wondering, and I've also been in contact with the head of this cancer center, because trust me, this has been a huge, long fight over these bills.
Right.
And so I have a couple different things to mention. And the head of the cancer center, he said, if we have to, we will go to the local news. We will go to social media to get this out there so people know.
Right.
And then the cancer center also recommended that I file a grievance with my insurance company.
Right.
So here's my legal part. Can my employer legally retaliate against me if I file the grievance, or if I go public saying that my insurance will not cover this? I wouldn't name them,
Right.
but the job that I have, if I go public on anything local, a lot of people know who I am.
No, I got it, Cindy. The answer to that is no. It would be illegal for them to retaliate against you for doing that. There's actually a very, very broad anti-retaliation law in Tennessee, so broad that it applies really to almost anything, and certainly would apply to this. So no, they could do it, but it would be illegal, and so you'd have a remedy. And let me also say this, and you didn't ask the question, but I'll tell you, working with the cancer center is absolutely the best strategy here. They work with these insurance companies all the time, so they know what's going on. You are talking to the right person. You're talking to the right person.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. They have been fantastic, and
Absolutely.
they have tried everything in the world. But they also have told me that this particular insurance company has been one of the most difficult ones for them to deal with.
Well, I'm sorry, but no, they could retaliate against you, but it'd be illegal.
And with either one, going public or with the grievance, either one would be illegal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
Yes.
How are you? How are you doing?
Well, I had a stem cell transplant a few years ago, and I relapsed after that.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I'm just being maintained on medication, but I feel good. I mean, I still work full time.
Yeah, you sound great.
Which is pretty amazing, considering the job that I have. I am exposed to massive amounts of germs every single day. But yes, I have a huge amount of faith, and God has gotten me to this point, and He obviously still has a purpose for me. So I'm still living every day.
That's awesome.
Cindy, God bless you. Thank you so much for calling. And you, now that you know how to reach me, let's stay in touch. I'm going to help you.
Okay.
Thank you,
very
Cindy.
much.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care.
All right. Thank you so much.
Let's talk to Stephen. We'll get to as many as we possibly can on Frijay. Lots of calls coming in. Stephen, you are next, sir.
All right. Right in the middle of eating some beef jerky.
Well, don't let us interrupt beef jerky, Stephen. I mean, good. You got to have priorities.
At least he wasn't going through the McDonald's drive-thru.
The hot and spicy old trapper. Oh.
Hot and spicy old trapper.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen, if you're eating hot and spicy old trapper beef jerky, you are right in my target demo, brother. Right in there.
And it's the best. I love it. Anyhow, no, question for Jay. Jay, first let me just butter you up a little bit, brother, because I love you so much. I really appreciate what you do as a professional lawyer and helping us out with these little questions on the radio show. And I thank Matt for letting you come in here and do that too, man. It helps a lot of people so much, and it shows you got a big heart and you're a great and honest person. And I just want to say thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephen. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Now
let me help you. How can I help you?
Okay. So, all right. Let's say my stepfather and my mom are going to separate. They're going to get a divorce.
Right.
My stepfather has 3 motorcycles, 3 trucks. I'm sorry. 2 houses, a boat, a camper, yada yada yada, a whole bunch of stuff. All right.
Right.
I don't care about all the stuff. He can
Right.
have it.
Right.
I just want my mom to stop going through mental torture and all the problems and issues.
Mm.
There's a little bit of alcohol, this and that, and everything else involved in things, and it's just been a ongoing issue. She's a big-hearted person, and she's taken care of me for a long time.
Now you say your mom. I thought you earlier said stepmom.
No, my stepfather.
Okay.
Oh,
Stepfather.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
My mom
Okay.
and my stepfather.
I got you.
So, all right. So I'm trying to set it up for me and her for her future, so she can have fun in her elderly years.
Right.
And go,
Yep.
She wants to go to the casino and party and do all this stuff, and I'll be right there with her.
Yes,
so
sir.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm worried about everything. If everything is in his name, does that matter? Like, if they split up and all that stuff's in his name, or no. Let's say something. Okay, let's say this. Let's say, other than life insurance, if something was to happen to my mother before they separated or divorced, and I'm not going to be part of his family. I'm not going to be around him or his family. I'm going to just do my
Right.
thing with my side of my family.
That's right.
What am I entitled to? Am I entitled to whatever she would have been entitled to, or how does all that work? They have a trust set up.
We got it. Stephen, I'm sorry to rush you, but we've got to go quick. I'm real late. Jay, do you have
Yeah, and it'll be hard to give it a short answer, but she needs to have a will, Stephen. She needs to have a will right now that leaves all of her estate to you, because and the fact that it's in his name, it's a complicating factor, but it's not determinative necessarily. But yeah, my simple advice is she just needs to have a will, and then I don't know if you're an only child or whatever, but leave it all to the children.
I am.
Yep.
I am.
So she just needs to get a will, and it's $200-300 that just says she's leaving everything to you.
Okay. I appreciate it, guys. And
Stephen,
can you guys
thank you.
comment on Pam Bondi?
Well, I'm going to be commenting on Pam Bondi here in about 10 minutes or so you just keep listening for that one. Jay, I've only got time for one more question, and I've gotten this question 5 times on the Super Text line. 5 times. You ready?
Yep.
What CD was in the CD player when it broke?
It was either Jimmy Buffett. I've got the box set of Jimmy Buffett.
Uh-huh.
It's a 4 CD box. I remember I got it when I got divorced, man, and it was called A Party in a Box. And I love that. It's beaches, bars, boats, and ballads. So it was either that or it was the original Boston CD.
Uh-huh.
Because that's the very first CD I bought. That album came out right when CDs were invented.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually have 2 of those.
Huh. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, that answers that. Jay, have a great weekend. I hope your driver wins as long as your driver's the number 9.
Hey, listen, my driver's going to be driving number 92 at Barber Motorsports Park this weekend.
Oh, all right. Well, good luck. Good luck this weekend to the old 92. We always root for him.
Yep.
All right. See you, brother. Take
See you,
care.
man.
All right. There's Jay St. Clair. That's Frijay. Sorry to those we could not get to, but time waits for no man. Not even this one. 55 after the hour. When it comes to large home repairs, you oftentimes will whistle past the graveyard. You know what I'm talking about? You pretend you don't see the warning signs. You pretend that there's nothing to see over there when you know very well there's something to see over there. You smell it. You see it. You know it. Well, you're afraid of what you're going to hear, but don't be afraid of USS. They are problem solvers. The bottom line is what you don't know can hurt you when it comes to the foundation of your home. You need peace of mind. It's why I called USS. After I bought my home, I wanted to make sure, I just wanted to make sure everything was on the up and up and A-OK with the new house, and I got the thumbs up on the new house from Nate and the rest of the team at USS, United Structural Systems, and I love that. Now, we did talk about some gutter work that I'm going to get done a little bit later on into the spring and maybe spring into the summer. Once you get the fence done, some of the other things I'm doing around the house, we're going to get some gutter work done, and I'll tell you all about that because USS is all about getting the water away from the home and protecting your property from water damage, from foundation issues. Concrete leveling, they do that as well. USS, United Structural Systems, 615-488-7855, 488-7855, or online at USSTN.com, USSTN.com.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. As he left Fort Bragg, President Trump said a U.S. military presence has been growing in the Middle East, causing concern an attack is possible on Iran. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest.
President Trump continues his blunt talk when it comes to making a deal with Iran over its nuclear program, leaving open the possibility of U.S. military action.
They give us the deal that they should have given us the first time. If they give us the right deal, we won't do that. But, you know, historically, they haven't done that. I will say they want to talk, but so far they do a lot of talking and no action.
The president said he does not want Iran to have any nuclear enrichment capabilities. He has previously said the U.S., quote, obliterated Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Here in Tennessee, lawmakers in the House have approved a bill allowing schools to post the 10 Commandments.
Not killing, not committing adultery, not stealing, not bearing false witness, not coveting.
That's the bill's sponsor, Smithville Republican State Rep Michael Hell, who says school boards would choose whether to display them alongside other founding documents like the Bill of Rights, maybe the Tennessee Constitution, in places like school entryways, cafeterias, or common areas.
If we taught those to our children, what a better society and what a better country we would be today.
Now, Democrats, including Nashville's John Ray Clemens.
I'm not aware that those are prohibited from being displayed in any school, because where I grew up over in Wilson County in the public school system, those were prominently displayed.
Yes, they're able to display those, and we just want to make sure that the 10 Commandments is able to be displayed with those.
So it passed the House with all Republicans voting for it, no Democrats. The legislation now goes to the Senate for a vote. The CDC now reporting a total of 910 measles cases across 24 states. These outbreaks growing at a rate that's 5 times higher than the average seen across an entire year. It's got medical experts concerned. ABC medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton.
And that means increased number of not only cases, but complications, hospitalizations, and inevitably deaths that all could have been prevented by increasing participation in vaccines.
And more research out showing the benefits of dark chocolate.
Numerous studies show it's good for your heart.
Decrease in blood pressure, decrease in LDL bad cholesterol, improvement in blood sugar, prevention of clotting.
But ABC chief medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula says dark chocolate can be good for other things, too.
Improvement in brain health and also protection of the skin from sun damage. And, not surprisingly, improved mood from decreasing stress hormones like cortisol.
Dark chocolate that's at least 70% cocoa is full of flavonols that decrease inflammation and prevent cell damage. One caveat, make sure it doesn't have a long list of ingredients, especially added sugar. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Woodbine still got that crash blocking the right 2 lanes of 440 eastbound just past Nolensville Pike. In Lebanon, this is a serious accident. Somebody's trapped. That's going to be 840 eastbound right before I-40. And then in Cedar Hill, got a crash, right lane block, 24 eastbound just past Maxey Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. What's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Murphy. This, conveniently, is the Matt Murphy Radio Show, and we're happy to have you with us. I'm now trying some Wally's coffee, and it is absolutely fabulous.
Hey, that's one heck of a machine in there, man.
Did you see that in there, Ken?
I did. I got me an espresso, but then I decided I better not drink all of it because
Be up all night?
Be up all night. Might be on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, all
Did y'all
kinds
use
of-
your new coffee cup?
Seriously,
I did.
I didn't use my new coffee cup because I want to take that one home nice and clean. But Wally's Bean Machine just put in a new coffee machine, and I've never used the coffee maker in there because I don't trust it.
Oh yeah, why don't you trust
Because I've seen the filthy people that make coffee in it. I mean,
But you trust this coffee machine?
well, yeah, because no hand. I mean, I don't see any grubby paws grabbing on the beans or whatever. It's all self-contained. I trust this. I trust Wally with my coffee and with my life. How about that? And so Wally's Bean Machine. I've got myself an Americano going.
Yeah, I've got I had a macchiato espresso.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Got a nice little creamy top.
Oh, it's a touch screen, man. Have you played with it, Jack? It's a little touch screen.
No, because I'm afraid if I go play with it now, I won't make it back in time for the next segment.
Okay. Well, there's hot cocoa in there.
Ooh, I might have
Is
to get
what
me a cocoa.
I mean, hot chocolate, but you know.
That's what I should have. I should have got me a cup of hot cocoa.
Mm-hmm. Jackson, you want to tell everybody your plan
I'm going to make a cup of hot cocoa later.
and tell them what you're going to do with it. Go ahead.
Might throw a little Reese's at the bottom of it.
Jackson told me during the break, Ken, that he's going to make a cup, and so you put the cup underneath there, and he
Had a
said he's
buddy
going to
teach me that.
he's going to put a Reese cup in the bottom of the cup,
Yes.
and then let the hot chocolate dump on top of it.
Yes, sir.
And that sounds like a recipe for a heart attack.
And Matt said he was going to do it with me.
I'll do it with you.
I'll do that too.
Okay. Well, now we have to buy 2 Reese cups because they come in 2s.
Yeah.
And now
Where are
we
you
got
going to get the Reese cups? Do they have them in the vending machine?
Yes.
Well, we're going to have to do this
Do
next
they?
week.
Oh, yeah.
They do?
Huh.
Huh. Wow, why you know about that?
I need to look around more often. I didn't know that. A couple of things. Number one, yes, we have established that Old Trapper has the best beef jerky. That's number one. Thank you very much. Number two, I knew as soon as I said it, I knew people would call me out on this. As soon as I said it, Ken.
Yeah.
When I said that the 8-track was the first ability that people had to be in control of their music in their automobiles.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the videos. I've seen the old school thing. Yeah, and those of you calling me out, I deserve every bit of it, and I'm sorry. Jeremy and many others have noted that I am wrong, that the first portable music for automobiles started in the 1950s when there were options for record player systems in cars.
What?
I know.
Matt has trouble remembering his 30s.
These were novelty add-on additions to these automobiles. What do you call them? Options. These were novelty options that never actually worked very well. And but I stand by. I'll tell you what. I'll amend my statement. I knew somebody would call me out on this. How about widely available? Because those were considered to be novelty accessories or options within the automobile.
Luxury add-ons.
Luxury. Thank you, Jackson. I was trying to look for the word. Luxury add-ons. But the 8-track tape player was a widely available opportunity for people to carry music around. So I apologize. I'm just going to step back and say I'm sorry. So there you go. If you'd like to be in part of the show on a First Amendment Freestyle Friday, 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. Man, I got Olympic spoilers. I'm not going to do it, though. I think it'd be wrong for me to spoil the Olympics for folks going home, right? I think that's right. I think I should stay away from that. What do y'all think? You don't care, Ken.
I really don't.
Ken doesn't care.
I mean,
have you heard of this American male Olympic skater? They're calling the Quad God.
Yes. Yes.
Well, he was skating today.
Yeah, he apparently fell down.
I didn't say it. For those of you, I didn't say it. Ladies and gentlemen, this Olympic spoiler has been brought to you by Kenneth Weaver, who just does the news, boys.
I just do the news, boys. Yeah.
He didn't just fall down, Ken. He fell down twice.
Oh.
Went from 3 times? Is it 3 times?
You told me earlier.
Oh.
Well, he missed 2 jumps and then fell down twice.
Oh, that's too bad.
He went from 1st to 8th.
Damn.
That gum. Y'all, I wasn't going to spoil it, so send your nasty cards and letters to ken.weaver@cumulus.com. Don't send them to me. Y'all see him in there. We need to have, we should have been doing this. We should have been having, we don't really care about the Winter Olympic updates.
Yes. What happened at the Winter Olympics today? I don't know.
Yeah. Beats the hell out of me. Some dude fell down on the ice. Fell down right on his tuchus. Reminded me of Jackson last night at curling.
I didn't
at
fall.
T-line. Jackson, to his credit, Ken, Jackson never fell down.
That's the way to go, Brother Jackson.
A bunch of those other producers fell down, some of them multiple times. Jackson did not. Good for him.
I would have fallen down.
Yeah,
No, you wouldn't have.
I'm pretty sure I would have.
You have to be clumsy to do it.
You have to be clumsy to fall down?
Yeah.
I just find it odd that Ken is currently arguing that he would have fallen down, and you're arguing that he would not have fallen down.
No, because it's like once they put the little grip things on your shoe, it's like walking on solid ground.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so but you didn't take the slippy thing and put that on, because the
I
guys
value my life.
The guys that fell down were actually trying to do it the proper way. You just took a stick and poked the stone with the stick.
I was a sweeper.
You just poke. I saw you do it. You just poked it with a stick. That's what I said. When Jackson does it, curling looks a lot like standing around.
Well, we did do some standing around. So here's what happened. So our group kept adding individuals, so we would go back to the first step of the learning portion, and so me and Joseph, being the first people there, would have to watch them go through the training portion again.
Uh-huh. And so you watched the training portion 3 times?
4.
4 times. Did y'all win, by the way?
Yes, Joseph on a last-second shot.
Good for you. Way to go there. Way to support this radio show, Jackson.
And he has not been quiet about it since.
There's a reason that we're number 3, boys.
Woo!
Number 3 in the USA.
That's the way to go, Brother Murphy and Brother Jackson.
Man, how about you, Ken? What?
I just do the news, boys.
Yeah, you do a good job of it, and you're an integral part of this radio show and this radio station, and everybody knows it, my friend. And we appreciate you.
Number 3 in the nation.
Number 3. They for those that don't know, there's a monitoring service, kind of an insider, a trade magazine or a trade service, if you will. It's called Barrett Media. They're good people, and they do a lot of hard work, and they put out a lot of stories about the medium that we're in, News Talk Radio. They also do a lot of things with Sports Talk Radio, and they come out with annual. I think they have like 50 people nationwide that are in the industry that act as judges, and they listen to a lot of the different radio shows, Dan Mandis, number 3 in the mornings.
Yeah, brother Dan Mandis.
How about that?
I saw that.
And I think Chris Hand was number 17 in the middays.
That's way to go, brother Chris Hand.
And he's better than that, but we'll get him up there. And then they ranked us number 3 in afternoon drive, all across these United States of America. Which for many of my haters, they'll say, "Well, my goodness gracious, look how far radio has fallen." If Murphy is number 3, ugh. Anyway,
That's exactly what I said when I woke up this morning.
that's what Jackson said when I told him that we're number 3. We're number 3.
That's a bronze medal.
Yeah, we're on the podium, baby.
Woo!
We'll take it. We'll take it. You know who's not on the podium? Quad God.
Poor fella.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad. Apparently he has some sort. I don't know. He hadn't lost. He hadn't lost in like 2 years.
Man,
any competition. But he came off the ice, and they asked him what happened, and you know what he said? You got to appreciate this. I blew it.
Well,
I blew it. Well, that's what you said, and that's what you did. Mike is next up in Mount Pleasant. Mike, thank you for your patience. Thank you for holding in there. How are you, buddy?
No problem. I'm doing pretty good, sir. I'm going to try to get through this without losing it. I lost my father last year.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
But he always made it a point that if school was in, we was to be in school. And was to apply ourselves in school. My father was not my friend. He was a father. And he made us mad. But there is no way in the world that he would be letting me go out here and act like an idiot.
Yeah, this thing going on in Mount Juliet is bothersome. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He had a rule. You go to school and you learn. And you apply that to yourself and you make something of yourself. Now, whenever I become adult, then me and him become friends. But I still respected him. I disrespected him one time in my entire life, and I regret it to this day. I raised my kids the same way my father raised me. And all 4 of my kids are law-abiding citizens. They have kids of their own, and they've done really well. But it saddens me to see what is going on with our youth and how that they're being trained now. I mean, it's
yeah, I mean, I can't speak to, I think Cookeville High School did it today too. For those who missed it, and I'm just trying to catch folks up that are just getting in their automobiles, apparently Mount Juliet High School had a walkout today. And the Mount Juliet Police Department was there to, quote unquote, protect their safety. And they did a mass walkout to protest Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to protest our border security laws, to protest the basic laws about how one gets into the United States of America and stays here legally. And, I don't know where the parents are on it. I'd love to hear from some of the parents. I know that my grandfather would not have taken to it, not one bit.
Well, I know my father wouldn't have. And I got to get yours and Jackson's and Mr. Weaver's gifts to y'all somehow.
You're very kind, Mike. We'll figure it out.
I love how that you disagree sometimes, but I love how that you actually talk about that we need to step up as men and be men instead of these little rugrats.
Well, that's my grandpa talking through me.
And I hope each one of you have a safe trip home.
Yes, sir.
And God bless this country.
God bless you, Mike. And thank you so much for that call. And thank you for those sentiments. You are a good man. And your father was a good man because he raised a good one. My grandpa, I said it at the beginning of the show. So for those that have not heard, Mount Juliet, apparently they had a walkout. Cookeville High School, walkout. Green Hill High School at 3:30 today. Protesters walk out. I don't know which high school is in the Mount Juliet. I mean, so y'all will have to bear with me because I know there's Mount Juliet High School. There's Green Hills. Not Green Hills.
Green Hill.
Green Hill.
No S.
Which is on
This is on
Lebanon Road,
yes.
right? And then there's Wilson Central.
Yes.
I don't know which is which. I don't know who did what. I've heard Mount Juliet and I heard Green Hill. So I don't know if Wilson Central did it either, too. But I think those two schools did. They had walkouts. And obviously it's not going to be all the kids. Lebanon High apparently did it as well. And here's the problem. And here's where we need to put our foot down. Now, if my kid starts a protest in the school, you better have a damn good reason to protest, right? One could suggest that there is an American tradition of protest at any age. That's fine. But apparently the kids that did not participate are getting bullied by the kids that did. And that's where I'm going to draw a firm line in the sand that you better step back, youngster, and your parents better help assist you to step back. Because if I got a kid that did, in my opinion, the right thing because they support immigration and customs enforcement and they support the American law that would suggest that if you come to the United States of America, you do it the right way, and they're going to get bullied for that? We're not playing that game. So it's definitely Mount Juliet High School. It happened at the intersection of North Mount Juliet Road and Highway 70, which makes sense. And that was going down today. James Lawson High School apparently in Bellevue did it. So apparently this was a coordinated effort amongst a lot of different students at a lot of different schools, probably coordinated online. We'll try to get to the bottom of it in a moment. If you have any thoughts on it or if you witnessed any of this, would love to hear from you. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986 is 24 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy, and I want to talk with you for a moment about the Glock story. You know, they lost power like a lot of their neighbors did last week when the power was out, but they were hard at it. They were making sure that they did everything in their power to get their manufacturing back up and running when the electricity happened. And we talked to Lenny about all of this. The retail showroom and the Shoot 270 indoor ranges, they're back open for business right now and offering incredible deals. They're calling it the Ice Storm sale, right? The deals include the new Glock GTL2 weapon lights for less than $155. The 43X magazine for under $19. The Savior Specialist range bags in limited edition Desert Night and Tiger Stripe camo. They're in stock and on sale as well. Much, much, much more. The brand new M1X Coyote frames are in stock and ready for immediate pickup too. And you heard Lenny say that they've got the new Gen 6 Glock 19s in stock right now. Now, they only had, I think, 30 of them. So you better go quick, boy, or those things might be gone before you know it. And yes, when you mention my name, whether you pick up in store or pre-order the Gen 6, you'll get a free extra magazine when you get it. A free extra mag from my friends at the Glock Store. All powered up and ready for business. The Glock Store, they're on Air Lane Drive, which is just off of Elm Hill Pike. Elm Hill Pike, just off of Briley Parkway. And Briley Parkway is convenient to everywhere. Minutes away from the airport, worth the drive from anywhere. It's the Glock Store. Hello, folks. Matt Murphy for King and Associates Insurance. Your home and your automobile are two of your biggest investments. You probably already know that by now. What are you doing to protect those investments? At King and Associates, they want to protect both with the coverage that fits your life and fits your budget. If you're a first-time homeowner, a growing family, or shopping for better auto rates, they make it simple with honest advice. I don't take well to pushy salespeople. I don't take well to people that are trying to angle me to something that I don't need. And you don't get that at King and Associates. Emery was a great, wonderful salesperson. He was a fabulous he was just an advice giver, right? He was somebody that gave me pieces of advice to help me understand exactly what I needed in my homeowner's insurance because I haven't done it in Tennessee yet. And he saved me a lot of money on my automobile when I bundled. Local, independent, they work for us, not the big insurance companies. Go to tkinginsurance.com. That's the letter T, kinginsurance.com, or 329-8121. 329-8121 for a free quote today. tkinginsurance.com. King & Associates Insurance, protecting what matters most.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Metro Police have named a suspect in the shooting death of another man during a Facebook Marketplace meetup last night in Antioch. 41-year-old Alexander Sanchez Montilla was shot at a home on Winton Drive where he had gone to buy a car. He later died at the hospital. Police are searching for 21-year-old Jonathan Gonzalez, who now faces homicide-related charges. And a bill that would allow public and charter schools to display the 10 Commandments is advancing in the Tennessee legislature. House Bill 47 gives local school boards the authority to post the commandments alongside documents like the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. News Channel 5 says there was fervent debate. House Education Subcommittee Chair Scott Sapicki.
I hope all 147 school districts will do this to make sure our kids ask questions.
Democrat State Rep Harold Love, who is a pastor, came out against it.
I know this bill does not address other faith traditions being able to also display their laws as a historical document.
Well, the bill passed with unanimous Republican support and now heads to the Senate for consideration. Tennessee lawmakers advancing a bill that says private citizens and organizations do not have to recognize same-sex marriages. The measure, House Bill 1473, protects people from penalties if they refuse to officiate such marriages. The bill is scheduled to appear on the House's regular calendar on February 19th. And a mom in Utah says her 15-year-old daughter was nearly kidnapped by her Lyft driver. Karina Ramirez says she called a Lyft for her daughter to take her to an appointment, but she says the ride was abruptly canceled by the driver. Here's ABC's Rhiannon Alley.
But when Karina used a location sharing app to track her daughter's location, she says the car was moving in the wrong direction.
She was like, sir, I need to get out. I can hear it in her voice that it changed. And she went, Mommy, he's not listening to me. Mommy, he's not stopping the car.
That's when Ramirez says she told her daughter to get out of the car and run as fast as she could. Police are currently investigating.
More research is suggesting that having some dark chocolate can be beneficial to your health. ABC News chief medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula, who is a cardiologist, says that dark chocolate has chemicals in it that can lead to better circulation.
Studies have shown a decrease in blood pressure, decrease in LDL bad cholesterol, improvement in blood sugar, prevention of clotting, all cardiovascular benefits. And other studies have shown potential improvement in brain health and also protection of the skin from sun damage. And not surprisingly, improved mood from decreasing stress hormones like cortisol.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, Woodbine got a crash blocking the right lane, 440 eastbound, just past Nolensville Pike. In Wilson County, this is a serious crash. Somebody's trapped in the wreckage. Got to be 840 eastbound before I-40. Cedar Hill, Robertson County, an accident, right lane block, 24 eastbound, just past Maxey Road. I'm Ken Weaver.
Friends, Savory Spice, located in Franklin, has some big news coming to those of us well south. You know, our radio station reaches well south of Middle Tennessee. I mean, we get basically to the Alabama border. Well, they're expanding their footprint all the time at Savory Spice. I'm going to tell you more about that a little bit later on. And if you have any friends along the Alabama-Tennessee line, then you might want to listen up to great new news that's coming up very, very soon with Savory Spice. One way or the other, you need to get over to Franklin. Anywhere in the sound of my voice, they're well worth the drive because they are a spice shop unlike any other. More than just spices. I mean, they've got all the spices that you need to restock the cupboards. They've got the exotic flavors that perhaps you have for a dish that you once knew back in the day, or something that you're trying to figure out for a new dish you're trying to prepare for your family. They've got great gift-giving ideas at Savory Spice. They've got different salts, different seasonings, different peppers, and, of course, all of the flavors that you know and love. You up your food game by upping your spice game, and you up your spice game at Savory Spice. I love when you walk in, you'll smell the aroma of the different flavors. I'm talking about, anything from mustard seed to cinnamon to celery salt to garlic. It's all there. And it just smells delicious at Savory Spice. Go by and see the Savory Spice just off the square in Franklin next to Grace Pharmacy, and tell them I sent you to Savory Spice. All right, we're going to jump on the horn with Larry and Blake and then play a little nincompoops in the news. It's a deciding match. I've got to go back and see who won yesterday. Jackson, don't say it was you because you don't know. You don't know that.
I do.
You do. Do you know it in your heart? Do you remember your story from yesterday?
It was the Molotov cocktail.
Mm-hmm. It was weak. It was weak. You know whose story was pretty strong yesterday? Weaver's.
What was Weaver's?
I don't remember. I just remember it being strong.
What was mine yesterday?
I don't know. I just remember it being pretty stout. So I've got to go back.
I got to go back and look.
I got to go back and I mean, you know how difficult it is? The super text line is an insanely popular feature on not just the Matt Murphy show.
Oh, pickleball riot.
Yeah, see, pickleball riot.
Yeah, that was
a good one.
Pickleball riot.
So now, see, I got to go. I'm just back to Chad. Now I'm into Chris Hand. Now I'm into Dan Mandis. Let's see if Dan Mandis said anything nasty about me today. By the way, we haven't brought this up. We might bring this up in the 6 o'clock hour. You know, he normally does. We haven't brought. We might talk at length about this. It's Friday the 13th. You boys suspicious? Are you superstitious? I should say, not suspicious. Superstitious? Are you suspicious of people who are superstitious? Because I am.
I'm not really superstitious.
I'm not either. Jackson?
Nope. Got a new coffee cup. I'm good.
Are you even listening to the show right now?
Good point.
All right. Larry said it says Larry has an issue with me. Hey, Larry.
Hey, Matt. First of all, I'm not Ken Weaver.
Way to go, Brother Larry.
Well said, Larry.
Well, you kind of, while I was on hold, you kind of blew my issue with you because I wanted all your listeners to know that you and Brother Ken and Fraction Jackson got rated number 3 in the country.
It's true.
I mean, that is a huge ordeal, brother, and it is well deserved.
Well, we are striving because we want to be number 2. Some people already think we're number 2, but we want to officially be number 2.
I was going to bring that up, but I wasn't. I wasn't going to say Brother Kim was number 2. Now Jackson maybe. But, you know,
I appreciate the compliment.
Well, you know, just know you guys have such a great show, and I listen every damn day, and much to your chagrin, you can look up chagrin. But you know, you guys are absolutely awesome, and you have no idea how many people listen to you, even across this country, and even across the world. Sometimes people in Scotland listen to you.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. You know, Larry turned them on to us.
Thank you, Brother Larry.
Well, yeah, and they would love to call in, but they're afraid if they call in, they will get arrested because they're not allowed to speak their minds in Scotland.
Yeah.
Well, Larry, you're a big part of the show. We absolutely love you. You're one of my favorites, and you know that. And if I just, you know how much you mean to us, okay?
Well, listen, I mean, you mean the world to all of us. And like I said, you guys are the best. You know, you do such a great job.
Well, thank you, brother.
You're so appreciated. Love you, brother.
All right, man. Take care.
Hey, we love Jackson.
Well, that makes one of us, Larry. Thank you, buddy. Hey, Jackson, I did the math. Ken won last night.
I won?
Ken Weaver won. He beat me by 1 vote. I could have easily lied and said I won, but I didn't. I try to be honest with this. So it's Ken Weaver 2, Jackson 1, Murphy 1. If Ken wins tonight, he is the big winner of the trophy. If one of the other of us win, we got to have rock, paper, scissors. Let's do it. Let's play Nincompoops in the News. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Nincompoops in the News.
As the big winner last evening, as we are wont to do, the winner gets to decide the batting order. Will it be Ken Weaver first? Will it be Jackson first? Or Matt Murphy? Or some semblance of an arrangement that doesn't involve all of that? Let's find out together. Ken? I don't even know. You know what? Yesterday felt like a Friday because we were on location, and today feels like we're doing the show on Saturday. And I had an Americano, and I think there was whiskey in it. I don't know what's going on with me.
How'd you get that in there?
I don't know, but it might be a feature that Wally's Bean does. I don't know, but I feel kind of drunk. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Weaver?
Yes, sir.
Who you want to go first?
I'm going to say Brother Jackson, then Brother Murphy, then Brother me.
All righty. Let's do it. Jackson?
All right. Wait,
you
me?
don't sound so excited about it, Jackson.
It does feel like we're doing the show on a Saturday. I'm not going to lie to you, bud. Frosting Fury, man accused of throwing cupcake at Cape Coral City employee. This comes out of Cape Coral, Florida. A political feud led to projectile food at 4 Mile Ecological Preserve in Cape Coral after a man was arrested for launching a cupcake at a city employee.
Whoa.
The incident occurred on January the 15th when a City of Cape Coral employee reported a man had thrown a cupcake at him after a verbal dispute over politics. The alleged thrower, David Sternal, was found at a nearby gazebo with frosting on his person, claiming the city employee threw the cupcake at him. Cape Coral police responded to the incident and conducted an interview with Sternal. According to police, his speech and behavior were disorganized, prompting a Baker Act investigation.
A Baker Act investigation?
Yes. Sternal confirmed with law enforcement that he was aware of his surroundings and did not have any intent to harm himself or others. The city employee chose not to press charges. However, at the request of a Parks and Recreation supervisor, he was formally trespassed from the preserve before leaving the area without further incident. Sternal was taken into custody where he faces the following charges: criminal mischief for damage to property over $1,000 and a weapon offense for a missile into a dwelling.
Two things, Jackson.
Yes.
Number one, I feel like you're phoning it in, which hurts you.
I'm not phoning it in.
That's what I felt like. Number two, that would be a great nincompoops in the news story, but for one fact.
What?
It didn't tell us what kind of cupcake it was.
Chocolate.
You're a liar.
Okay, vanilla. Tell me in the chat which cupcake makes you want to vote for me, and that's what kind of cupcake it was.
Nobody's voting for you, Jackson, because I got that beat. Seven Oaks Elementary School in Washington State, where an unhinged lady approached and harassed a sheriff's deputy who was parked at the school, claiming that he was scaring families by his mere presence.
Oh.
Now, we're going to give props to the deputy for handling it the way that he did. I have to dump out of this audio at a very specific time because the lady lays down an F-bomb.
Wow.
But here's what the exchange sounded like.
What am I doing here?
Why are you here?
I was just doing a collision report, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you guys going to be here much longer?
Until I'm done doing my job.
Because one of the teachers, when I dropped off over there, said y'all been circling since about 8.
Okay. Well, I'm just doing my job, so the quicker I
Your
do my
job at the elementary school since about 8 a.m.?
I wasn't here at
There was
8
a
a.m.
collision here at the elementary school?
You have a good day. I'm going to continue to do my
You
job.
work for us, and you're scaring these families.
Okay. Well,
you
I'm
should
gonna
probably
continue
go
to do
do
my
your
job.
where your job lives.
Okay,
Because I don't see that it needs to be right here all morning.
Okay. I'm going to explain something.
Mm-hmm.
The person that I was just working with
Mhm.
left approximately 5 minutes ago.
Mhm.
This was a collision report for them.
Mhm.
I'm doing my job. I
Can
gave
you
them all their information.
Can you maybe, like for a second, acknowledge that you could be a really upsetting sight for people right now?
He's a sheriff's deputy.
I get it. I get it. But like for us to be able to collaborate with y'all at all going forward, you're going to have to show us some humanity. You're going to have to show us that you understand the circumstances and the feelings that you evoke. Because like, it would be so rad to feel like you're here for us. It would be so rad to feel like you guys get it and understand that you are
There's a little F-bomb going on right now as we speak, as this lady is just being irrational as can be.
That you're part of our community.
Okay. Well, ma'am,
then I don't think you should be lingering
with
here.
absolutely all due respect, I'm not going to continue to go back and forth. I'm going to try to finish my job as fast as possible. Okay? Keep in mind that you are cussing. We are in front of a school. So please just keep that in mind, okay?
I'll give you that. That's fair.
Okay, so the quicker I get this done, I can leave, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not really not trying to bother
really
you,
be
okay?
thinking about these kids and these moms.
Look, I get it, ma'am.
You know what moms are going.
You know, so this idiot Karen is mad. A sheriff's deputy responded to a collision and was writing up an accident report after a collision, and she was demanding that he leave the Seven Oaks Elementary School because he was scaring the children and scaring the community. What happens when this lady has somebody attack her, God forbid, or assault her in some way, or rob her, or she needs the police in some form or fashion? And what is she going to do then? Is she going to call the police? You're damn right she is.
Yeah, somebody roll up and stick a gun in her face. What's she going to do then?
She'll want the cops around then, won't she, Ken?
Boy.
That lady is an absolute.
That
nincompoop.
I could not be a law enforcement officer.
No.
I could not do it. I just couldn't do it.
I mean, and he's just, and kudos to that deputy, that sheriff's deputy in Washington State, because he kept his cool, man, and he was like, I'm just going to do my job, ma'am, and I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, I couldn't do it either, Ken, because that lady would be in the back of my patrol car.
You said Washington State?
It was Washington State, and I can actually tell you.
That figures.
Yeah. It was Thurston County in Washington State. Thurston County, Washington State, at Seven Oaks Elementary School. This lady is a nincompoop. Ken?
All right. I got to shake that off.
Shake it off, buddy.
Deputies bear down on lewd behavior at Blind Creek Beach with latest arrest. This out of Fort Pierce, Florida. Sunday marks the latest arrest in a string of indecent exposure incidents near a nude beach in St. Lucie County. Or Lucie. St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office said the arrest occurred around 2:15 p.m. on November 2nd, 2025, when deputies from the Patrol Operations Bureau were conducting foot patrols in the beach and dune areas. A deputy stationed atop the observation tower noticed a man in the dunes, quote, enjoying some alone time. A second deputy approached and confirmed the behavior. Yes, sir, that is happening, leading to the arrest of 41-year-old Eric James Rhodes. Deputies reported finding a personal product in his pocket. That, I guess, helps with the whatever he was doing. The sheriff's office said Rhodes was arrested for indecent exposure, vulgar public nudity, and remains in custody. This arrest followed two similar incidents reported the prior week. 6 people arrested for unauthorized nudity when they thought the beach they were on was a nude beach. I remember that story.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's my nincompoop. Some fella taking care of business there in the dunes with some equipment nearby.
I don't know which I would prefer to believe, Ken.
Yes, sir.
I would like to believe that this is just a new level of crazy, because we see a lot of videos of a lot of dudes taking care of their personal business in public.
Yes.
And I don't know which is worse, that's happening more and we're getting it on video, or it's always happened that much. We just have more ability to video it because of the phones in our pockets.
Probably I think it's probably always happened. It's just now, it's like you said, we got the technology to.
The old Benny Hill. You remember Benny Hill back in the day, Ken? The old Benny Hill perv, the little where he would flash the.
Yes.
He'd flash and normally he'd flash a few people and you wouldn't see him because he's facing away. He'd wear the big old overcoat and he'd flash somebody and flash. Oh. And then he'd turn around and see the camera and he'd flash the camera and it would be some sign that was talking about the Queen or something. It wouldn't be, he wouldn't be naked. Well, man. That's how we do it. That's how we play Nick Caboose, say the news, Super Talk 99 cents. Jackson, get in here with some music, would you? Thank you. Jackson, we got another hour and 7 minutes to go. I need you focused, buddy. Do you need a cappuccino, espresso, Americano?
A macchiato
or
espresso.
A macchiato?
That's a good point.
Let's see. I think I'm going to win, which means Ken Weaver and I might have to do a rock, paper, scissors contest. It's 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
what President Trump said today when asked what Iran could do to prevent a U.S. military strike. We'll play it for you coming up at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It is official. Ken Weaver and I must have a rock, paper, scissors contest to determine the winner of Nincompoops in the News for the week and the winner of the trophy and the crown presented by the Wellness Institute of Nashville. We will do so presently, just after the top of the hour newscast. Now, Jackson Jackson has claimed, Ken, that he is rooting for me in the event of a rock, paper, scissors contest.
Okay.
The reason he says that is because if I won the trophy, then the trophy actually still resides in the control room where Jackson can, and this is, I'm quoting him now, I can still gaze upon it.
Quoting Brother Jackson from earlier today on 2 occasions.
Uh-huh.
Good point.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So we'll do a little rock, paper, scissors. No, several of you have suggested that we should have a poop off. No, we're not going to have a poop off.
What?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want any part of it.
No, sir.
I feel like that might be what that fellow was doing at the beach.
Well, that
maybe.
That wasn't it.
No. Blake, hang in there. I appreciate your patience, Blake, and we'll get to your call in moments. Yours as well, 615-737-9986. Might have a bit of fun with superstitions coming up in just a moment. Plus, we'll run down some of the news items that you need to know before we call it a weekend. It's The Murphy Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
That's a good point.
Six o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And Brother Jay Harper just mentioned this a moment ago. It is a serious crash that has shut down eastbound 840 between Central Pike, exit 72, and I-40, exit 76 over in Wilson County. We'll get you another traffic update here in 5 minutes. Right now in Tennessee, Vergne Mayor Jason Cole telling WTN's Matt Murphy Show today his next steps in getting representation on the NES governing board over its response to the winter storm.
They have not responded to the letter from State Representatives Robert Stevens and Mike Sparks and myself. I will be drafting and sending out Monday another letter to the CEO of NES to attend our next Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting and to answer questions from the board.
Sumner County and Williamson County officials are requesting NES board representation, too. Iran nuclear negotiations. President Trump was asked today what could prevent a U.S. military strike on Iran as a second aircraft carrier is preparing to deploy to the region.
Give us the deal that they should have given us the first time. If they give us the right deal, we won't do that. But, you know, historically, they haven't done that. I will say they want to talk, but so far they do a lot of talking and no action.
Yeah, he's talking about nuclear negotiations. Former CNN host turned self-proclaimed independent journalist Don Lemon came out of a Minnesota courtroom today after pleading not guilty to civil rights violations for his role in that ICE protest that interrupted a church service in Minneapolis.
This isn't just about me. This is about all journalists, especially here in the United States.
Several activists were arrested, and they pleaded the same today, not guilty. Back here in Nashville, Metro Police looking for a 21-year-old man accused of shooting and killing another man during an attempted Facebook Marketplace sale in Antioch last night. Alexander Sanchez Montilla was wounded in both legs and later died at the hospital. Detectives say he was in the garage of a Winton Drive home when those shots were fired. Arrest warrants charge Jonathan Gonzalez with multiple felonies, including criminal homicide. And a new measure clearing the Tennessee House would let schools display the 10 Commandments in public areas alongside other historic documents such as the Bill of Rights and the Tennessee Constitution. News Channel 5 says there was what it describes as a fervent debate before the vote, that is, and every Republican voted for it.
The pure fact of the matter is our Tennessee Constitution asserts that every man has a natural and indefeasible right to worship Almighty God. That's the same one whose finger wrote those commands in a stone. Doesn't mention any of the other false gods.
Again, it passed with overwhelming, unanimous Republican support. Democrats, they weren't about it.
I don't think passing legislation is going to change anybody's mind about God.
Senate will now decide whether the bill moves forward. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Lebanon, we've got 840 eastbound shut down due to a serious crash. Somebody trapped there in the wreckage. That's going to be between Central Pike, exit 72, and I-40, exit 76. Cedar Hill, Robertson County got a crash with the right lane blocked 24 eastbound before Maxey Road. South Nashville crash, on-ramp partially blocks the 24 eastbound on-ramp from Murfreesboro Pike. And then closer to downtown, in fact, downtown here on the South Loop, got a crash going westbound there at 65. I'm Ken Weaver.
For those interested in the story, there are new developments in the case of Nancy Guthrie. We'll follow up on that in just a moment. We'll also talk about RFK and his comment on the Theo Vaughn podcast, which is making the rounds. Everybody freaking out about it. I don't know why everybody's freaking out about it. When you are a drug addict, you do a lot of drug addict-like things, and drug addict behavior is not normal behavior, which is why people like RFK get off the drugs and get on the straight and narrow. He is our Health and Human Services Secretary, RFK Jr., and he has done cocaine. And he also killed a bear. Or no, he didn't kill a bear. He found a bear and then relocated. Didn't he? What was it? He relocated that bear in Central Park? I think that's right.
Yes. He said it must have been run over by a bicyclist.
We live in such great times. Y'all know how much enjoyment we owe to Donald J. Trump. I mean, you know, some of it turns out badly, but this RFK thing, I love every second of it. Absolutely love every second of it. Ken?
Yes, sir.
I have made a decision.
Okay.
I am going to abdicate my opportunity for the crown, and I would like to present you, because I feel like your two stories that were winners were better than my two stories that were winners, and I would like to present you the trophy and the crown this week.
No, sir. We're going to do rock, paper, scissors.
Okay. All right. We're going to do
I'm ready. You got to put me up there, Brother Jackson.
Uh-huh. All right, Jackson, you're the can you get him up there? We're going to do it on camera.
Oh, it's
technical difficulties. Well, that's fine. Oh, you got it?
There we go.
All right, you got it. Okay. All right. All right, Ken.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do best out of 3.
Okay.
And it's 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yes, sir.
So you go on shoot.
Right.
All right. So you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot. What do you do? What do you do?
I got a rock.
He did a rock.
Oh, he smushed my scissors. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Ready?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
I got a rock.
Did you do rock again?
Yes.
Dadgummit, he won. You know, for a guy that was just going to give you the trophy, it kind of annoyed me that I lost.
Well, while you two were playing childish games, I hid the trophy.
That's not childish.
You know, that's the second time I've lost the rock, paper, scissors poop off. And which is what we're going to call it from now on.
Yeah, the poop off for nincompoops.
Yeah, it's the poop off, which is rock, paper, scissors.
Maybe that's what they meant by the poop off.
Maybe I hope so.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to choose to believe that. I got to up my rock, paper, scissors game, boys. I'm going to study up on it.
That's a good point.
I'm not going to tell you my policy on that.
Well, you got
a strategy.
You got some strategery over there, because I was sure if I fired the scissors twice that I was going to get you. But no, you fired the rock twice.
Oh, yes, sir.
I should have gone with paper.
That's what I was afraid you were going to do.
I got to up my poop game. Blake, thank you for holding. Thank you for dealing with all of this frivolity as we slide into the weekend. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, Matt. How are you?
I'm great, my friend.
Y'all are hilarious, by the way.
Thank you.
Love listening to it.
Thank you.
I do want to bring up, though, you know, how accurate would a statement be that political separation amongst high schoolers is virtually unheard of?
I've never heard of separating students within a high school setting based on political affiliations.
Well, that's basically what they done by walking out on a what they done, a protest. They separated themselves.
Yeah, basically. What I don't like is I'm getting reports, and I want to try to confirm some of these reports, but I have gotten reports from several listeners that the students that did not walk out were being bullied by the students that did.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's, you know, united we stand, divided we fall, and for something something is wrong is what the left is pushing with this ICE and pushing it on young, impressionable minds. That as far as for them to walk out of school, that's taking it a little far. That's the young America. That's the future of what we have to live with, and for them to be separated that much on something that is easily seen as wrong, and they're easily seen wrong. For them to be separated that much is, in my mind, ridiculous. They're asking for something later in life.
Well, and where where does all of this end in our public schools?
Correct.
Do we not, as a parent, and now I'm not a parent, but if I were a parent in a public education setting, should I not expect that there will be disciplinary measures toward those kids that walked out?
Correct. There should. 100% there should.
I mean, they should be kicked out of school. They should have to go home for a couple of days. And look, this should not stand. And certainly, if there is bullying going on, you've got to discipline these kids.
Correct. What's the difference in fighting in school and getting suspended for that? It's obviously wrong, and so is, walking out of school for a political issue that you may or may not understand.
Well, that's right. And what I would love, and I don't think I'll ever get the opportunity, Blake, I'd love to talk to some of these kids and say, well, tell me how you would have it done. Explain to me what you think's going on. I would love to talk to one of these high schoolers and say, well, what do you think's going on, and how would you have it go? Do you want any border security? You start here. Should there be rules to get into the United States?
Right.
And
the political agenda, though, that's just what I wanted to bring up to you. The political agenda, it's pushing as hard as it is. There will be repercussions later in generations like I said, it's unheard of for high schoolers to be separated politically like that. It doesn't happen. They don't get that involved to it. There's repercussions to come from as how hard the left is pushing ideas and what is blatantly wrong on the young Americans.
Well, and here's what these school officials who have chosen, or at least to my understanding, are choosing not to discipline these kids. Here's what they're opening up, right? They're opening up the idea that these kids feel like they can do this at any time that they choose. Number two, they are opening up the possibility that you're separating these two groups of people, like you bring up, Blake, and these kids that are doing the protesting are feeling morally superior to those who aren't. So you're creating a level of tension that need not exist, an animosity that need not exist within the system.
Correct. Correct. 100%. There will be repercussions for letting everybody divide amongst issues that are blatantly, easily seen as true, as good issues. ICE doing everything they do. It's a good thing. It's lawful. There will be repercussions later in generations.
Well, and my God, I mean, you heard this woman, my nincompoop for today, and thank you, Blake, for the call. I'm going to scoot to another. You heard my nincompoop today, right? This woman, this grown woman, looks at a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, doing his job. She looks at the presence of a deputy as a negative. Why in the hell would you be teaching your children that the presence of a law enforcement officer is a negative in any given situation? Their presence is a positive. They are friends of the community. They are there to help the community. They are there to enforce the laws of the community. Sally says, I heard on Dan's show the Lebanon principal was the only one condoning the walkout. He said he wouldn't mark him as absent or anything against him. The others said there would be consequences, unexcused absence. No. I mean, there should be more consequences than, Sally, I appreciate you giving me the information. Thank you for that. But there should be more consequences than unexcused absences. 1487, I would love that. But the punishment for the kids should be a lecture from Matt Murphy. You're damn right. You're going to learn today. You start here. Kids, the United States of America is widely considered to be one of the greatest countries on God's green earth. It is why so many individuals from other parts of the world want to be here. From all over the globe, people want to be in the United States of America. They want to be a part of the American experiment because it's all about freedom and liberty. Your freedom to protest even, as you have done over the last several days in your walkout, supporting the illegal aliens that are here and offering a protest to Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the anti-ICE protest that you engaged in. So I have a question for you, young people. Should there be rules to get into the United States? Let's not talk about what those rules should be. let's ask ourselves, yes or no, should there be rules? Should there be a process that individuals must abide by in order to come to the United States? Now, some of these skulls of mush, I'm certain, are going to say no, which is just silly. Because if everyone wants to be here, or many, 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 many millions of people around the globe want to be in the United States of America, and you say that there are no rules to come to the United States of America, you're creating a free-for-all. You're creating chaos. This country will be flooded with millions and millions and millions of individuals, many of whom do not have the ability to earn a living on their own and will quickly turn to sucking from the system, the tax-paying citizens of this country. Obviously, if you are the shining city on the hill, if you are the light, if you are the example that others strive toward, you must have a policy and a process by which there are rules to get into the country. Okay. Well, we're going to talk about what those rules should be, young people. You young high school students from Mount Juliet, Green Hill, Lebanon, and elsewhere. We're going to talk about what exactly those rules should be and what they shouldn't be and how easy the process should be in a moment. But collectively, we've agreed, for the most part, that there should be rules. There should be a process. Now I have a follow-up question. Youngsters, what do you do to those that don't follow those rules? If you agree with me that there should be rules, if you agree that there has to be an orderly process, then what do you do to the people that don't follow it? Do you do nothing? Do you say, oh, well, I guess you can stay? Or should there be punishments? Kids, you have rules that you have to abide by. Sometimes your parents create rules, a set of expectations for you. This school that you're in today, it has rules. What would happen if there were no consequences for breaking the rules? What would happen? The rules would become meaningless. Authority would go out of the window. Chaos would commence. Anarchy would commence. Suddenly, if there are no rules, or rather, I should say, if there are no consequences for breaking the rules, then your fellow student could steal your property without fear of reprisal. If there are no consequences for breaking one set of rules, then I would extend that to all of the rules that govern us as a society. Therefore, if I decide that I'm bigger than you and stronger than you, and I decide that I want to steal your backpack, what are you going to do about it? Who are you going to turn to? The authorities? They don't exist anymore, kids. Rules have no meaning anymore. There's no consequence for breaking them. Now, we are truly dealing with our baser instincts in life, and it is survival of the fittest. And the strongest will survive, unless you agree with me that laws created equally amongst men and women are designed to protect everyone equally, regardless of social or economic status. And some of those laws have to do with legal status in the United States of America. Sadly, our kids aren't learning any of these things. Now, once we establish that there should be rules, and once we establish that there ought to be punishments for those who break them, we can go on and we can talk about what those rules should be. And I'm certain that many of those students at Mount Juliet that walked out, many of those students at Green Hills that walked out, or Green Hill that walked out, many of those students in Lebanon and wherever else these things happen, I'm certain that those kids, because they're You know, they got, I call them skulls of mush, right? They're very emotional. They want to be nice to other people and protect other people. If you want to loosen the rules, there's a way to do that. There's a process by which you do that. But you can't ignore them. If you ignore them, the rules are meaningless. And it would grant me the ability to violate your personal liberties, your rights, without fear that something might happen to me. That's what we ought to be teaching them, guys. But we're not. Just walk out. Don't worry about it. 23 after the hour, Chris and Jeff and D'Angelo will get to all of you, not necessarily in that order, on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Genesis Diamonds, friends. If you did not get to Genesis by today, then I don't know what to tell you, because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. They really shine this time of year. Let me talk to you for a moment about Genesis Diamonds and what they can do for you beyond. I mean, one, if you screwed up, right, and didn't get anything for Valentine's Day, you can still get over there, right? Green Hills and Cool Springs, they're available for you. That makeup gift sometimes might be as good as a Valentine's Day gift. Genesis Diamonds has incredible sparkling jewelry, diamond bracelets, eternity bands, earrings, pendants, colored stone jewelry, and pre-owned Rolex watches available for you right now. Elegant pendants, dazzling eternity bands, stylish wedding bands, an incredible selection of diamond classic jewelry. And friends, they've got it for less. And they just want to see you. So maybe you slip by tomorrow. Maybe you slip by early next week and get that nice home run makeup gift for what you didn't do on Valentine's Day. Fellas, get to that special place for that spectacular gift only at Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills and Cool Springs. There's a little bit of time left, and you can get that home run gift for Valentine's and beyond at Genesis Diamonds. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Let's talk to D'Angelo next up on the Matt Murphy Show. Hello, D'Angelo. How are you?
What's going on, sir?
What's up, man?
Hey, here's what I take issue with. Back when Charlie Kirk was murdered, there were students that did a walkout. No one ever said anything about that. It was just they were showing honor. They were remembering Charlie Kirk, but they walked out of school, and no one said anything about that. As a matter of fact, when you really think about it, go back to the civil rights movement. These kids, yeah, they were kids, middle school, high schools, college students, they walked out of school because they felt that the laws were unjust, and they were protesting. They were exercising their constitutional right. Now,
can I ask a quick question, because I'm genuinely. When was there a walk? Was there a walk? I don't remember a walkout with Charlie Kirk. Where was there a walkout?
Yeah, there was. There was the day after he was shot and killed.
Where?
Well, it may have been the day after or the Monday or whatnot. The kids walked out of school to honor Charlie Kirk. Look it up. Google it.
No, I remember. No, what I remember at Lipscomb Academy, that students wore red ties to honor Charlie Kirk, and they were told they had to take off the red ties.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have prefaced by saying it wasn't in Tennessee. It was in the state, but no one said anything about that.
Where was it? I just Googled students walk out Charlie Kirk. And I don't see anything.
Well,
I mean, I see Thurston High School students walked out after an employee applauded Charlie Kirk's assassination.
Now, what I'm talking about, it is. Hold on 1 second.
I don't want to get hung up on it. So let's say it happened. Let's go ahead and say it. Let's say it happened. That's fine. I mean, you could be exactly right. I just don't remember.
Okay, yeah, but see what I don't understand is that because they disagree with you, and my daughter, she was one of the ones that went and participated in the walkout at Mount Juliet. And the crazy thing about it is that when I asked her, I said, "Why do you want to do this?" She says, "I just don't believe in the tactics that ICE is using when they're arresting people, and they're arresting American citizens." And I mean, I understand what you're going to say, but listen, I think that sometimes we think that kids are dumb. Kids are not dumb. They know what's going on. They have their TikToks, they have their Instagrams, and there's so much information that's being given on there, and kids are able to make up their own decisions.
D'Angelo.
And if they decide they want to,
why are they arresting American citizens?
Well, for one reason, I don't know why they're arresting American citizens.
I do. They're arresting American citizens who are interfering with lawful law enforcement practices.
Not all of them are like that, Matt.
Yes, sir, they are. Like yes, sir. No, and if you point to me a one-off, then I'll disagree with those one-offs. But by and large, just about every American that has been arrested during the engagement with Immigration and Customs Enforcement is because those Americans are interfering with legal law enforcement activity, D'Angelo.
We'll just have to disagree with that.
No, we don't have to disagree. I'm right and you're right. You need to cite me examples. Explain to me. No. D'Angelo, I'll do what the hell I want. Thank you. I'm an American. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Have a good day, man.
No, D'Angelo, don't hang up. You don't tell me what to do. I don't tell you what to do.
I'm not going to sit here and allow you to talk to me like that, man. I'm not going to, because I disagree with you. You're going to just go berserk on me.
No, you're not telling the truth, D'Angelo. I'm just trying to get to the truth.
Oh, yeah, I am telling the truth.
Tell me what Americans have been arrested by ICE and why. You threw that on the table. I didn't.
No, but what I am saying that there are situations where Americans, citizens are being arrested.
Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me an example of. Give me. No. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
The little kid that got arrested, him and his father, they got arrested, right? And they sent him out to I believe in Phoenix or whatnot. And now the kid's back.
You mean the guy that abandoned? You mean the guy that abandoned his child? You mean that guy?
No.
You talking about that guy?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, you're talking about something.
But I'm just saying, dude.
Anyway.
I'm just like, I don't understand why it is that if people disagree with you, they're wrong. I don't understand why it is these kids are exercising their constitutional right to protest, right? Lebanon High School, their principal gave them permission to go ahead and leave. As a matter of fact, all of these high schools.
So kids have a constitutional. Excuse me. I'm just trying to get to the bottom. D'Angelo, kids, you're saying that high school students have a constitutional right to walk out of school.
Hey, listen, the principal at Lebanon High School gave them permission to do it.
I'm not talking about Lebanon High School. You said that they're exercising their constitution. So you're saying kids in high school have a constitutional right to walk out.
No, I didn't say that. You said that.
No, you just said that. You said they're exercising. D'Angelo, you said they're. I'm trying to be calm with you. You said they're exercising their constitutional rights.
The same type of talk that you're doing right now is the same type of talk they did back in the 60s.
What are you talking about?
The same type of talk you're doing right now is the same kind of talk they did back in the 60s.
D'Angelo,
back in the 60s.
Should there be rules to come to America?
Oh, yeah, there should be rules.
Okay, all right, thank you. Next question. No. Next question. I'll answer yours when you answer me that. No. Hold on. If there should be rules, D'Angelo, calm down. Let's answer one more question. No, calm down.
The way that he did it.
No, D'Angelo.
I'm a grown man. I can say whatever I want to.
No, not on my show. Not on my show, pal. No, I run the show. I run the show. You get your own show, you can run the show. I run the show, D'Angelo. The question was, are there rules? Okay? And I didn't hang up on D'Angelo, by the way. D'Angelo hung up on me. D'Angelo, the question was, and I'm a grown man too. The question was, should there be rules? The follow-up question is, what do you do to the people who break them? And you accused me of talking like the civil rights era. Screw that, buddy. No, screw that. The laws that have been passed have been lawfully passed, approved by the Congress of the United States of America, and signed by past presidents. Not Donald Trump. Past presidents way back, years and years ago. High school students do not have a constitutional right to walk out of class. That's not the way it works. And the Supreme Court, D'Angelo, agrees with me. People who are arrested, and I agree with you, D'Angelo, and I was trying to get to that. I agree with you that there have been mistaken arrests by people who either refused to or were unable to provide documentation at the time that they were questioned by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and those people have been released. I don't pretend that the system is perfect, buddy. The system is not perfect. The question is, what type of system are you asking for? Are you asking a system where there are no rules? I got to go to the news. D'Angelo, call me back anytime. But understand, this is not a democracy. This is a benevolent dictatorship. And if you want to accomplish things, you need to understand that. It's 37 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Efficient Heating and Cooling. So we're at a time of year, and it's not normally this time of year, right? Middle of February, where you're turning on the AC every once in a while because we're getting up in the 70s, and then you're turning on the heat and the AC and the heat. Well, Efficient Heating and Cooling, they understand that can put a strain on the system. And if it does put a strain on your system, if your heater's not working appropriately, if you feel that you need to get someone out to see you, you need to get Efficient Heating and Cooling in your life. Jeff Eddy and his team can help out with whatever your need might be. They understand that maintenance goes a long way when it comes to providing relief, really, for the entire family. And I encourage you to contact Jeff Eddy if you have problems with your heater. Never pay more than you need to. Maintenance that unit and efficient when the time comes. You're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem, efficienthvac.net, or call 615-784-4424, 615-784-4424, or online at efficienthvac.net. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I occasionally lose my patience, and for that, I mean, it's a failure of mine. I understand that, and some of you like it, some of you don't. But my patience is lost when people say things that are not based in fact, or they say things that are speculative or conjecture in nature. And I try to understand where they're coming from, and then they don't want to talk to me about it. Like, students walked out after Charlie Kirk. No, the only walkouts that I can find were based on teachers that made comments about how happy they were that Charlie Kirk had his head almost blown off by an assassin's bullet. And then the students, in response to the teacher left the classroom. There was one case in I think it was, I forget the school district. I pulled the story down. There was another case here in Nashville where the Lipscomb students wanted to wear red ties to honor Charlie Kirk, and they were told they were not allowed to do that. And it's a private, Lipscomb's a private school, so and they protested in a private setting. I genuinely cannot find, and maybe it happened, but I genuinely cannot find where students, quote, walked out. Secondarily, if that happened, those students should be disciplined. It's the way it works. Number 3, protest is your right in the United States of America. The Supreme Court has consistently said that the students in a public school setting do not have the same freedoms associated with the Bill of Rights as you would in general society. The case that I'm remembering, and I can't cite the case chapter and verse, but I'm remembering it was a case of, I want to say it was school uniforms, and kids wanted to wear other types of political statements within the school setting, and the courts determined that the school structure was such that they could create parameters that would otherwise deny the youngsters of their quote-unquote constitutional rights to protect the school setting and advance the concept of learning, generally speaking. So what will get us, we can disagree. D'Angelo, you and I can disagree. What will get us off the rails is when you say things that are A, functionally not true, or B, merit a follow-up by me, and you refuse to allow the follow-up. Make no mistake. This is not I try to make it an equitable conversation. This is not an equitable conversation. The nature of what we do indicates that it's not. And by the way, D'Angelo, I've given you my cell phone number, and you're welcome to call me anytime you want. And I'm happy to have a conversation with you offline, which would be a more equitable type of conversation. Michelle is next. Hey, Michelle, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. To answer the question of what are rules implemented for is rules, laws, policies, they prevent chaos. So there's a preventative measure to prevent chaos so we can work and live in a civilized manner. And but students walking out, they're not practicing curriculum and learning. They're practicing something that is not within what most parents would desire. Most parents would desire that their children would have education and learning and a good, wholesome environment for their children's well-being. So walking out is not preferred.
Obviously that's not going to be conducive to a good learning environment if, as we were talking with D'Angelo about it, because he said, well, they're exercising their constitutional rights. Well, the students do not have a constitutional right to walk out of class when they feel like there's a wrong that needs to be righted in America. It's just not true. And the courts have agreed with me consistently. Michelle, thank you for the call. Have a great weekend. I certainly hope you do. Solano is next. Am I pronouncing that correctly, Solano?
Yeah, that's my last name. That's correct, man.
Okay, Solano, what's going on, man?
I want to talk to D'Angelo. Okay, he seems to have a good heart, and I have heard this from many people on the left or maybe modern Democrats and people around. I'm a Latino. I'm from Costa Rica. I've called before. I put in the papers for my sister and my niece. It took us 10 years, almost $8,000 each. We waited for 10 years. There were tests for this and tests for that and interviews in the embassy in Costa Rica. And finally, they arrived here legally. And it's been hard. And I want them to understand, like everybody, to understand that when they go out protesting, we don't want that. We want the criminals and everybody to be caught. We know what kind of people came in the Biden administration. We know, like, I have a job here that I work with the community. I'm a pastor. I used to be the pastor of a Hispanic church here. One of the ladies, a young woman from 24 years old, she had 2 kids. One guy in their apartment went into her apartment where she was playing with the kids in the playground. When she went back, he was in the bathtub with all her underwear and stuff. I mean, he got caught. She started screaming. They caught the guy from Mexico, by the way. He had an arrest order in Mexico for rape, I think. And they went to his apartment. This is on Murfreesboro Road. They went to his apartment. He was living with another 5 guys, 6 in total, that were also criminals in their countries from Central America and Mexico. And I don't know, some of them got released, and this is why we're living in Nashville. We know the ones who were being oppressed by the people who were allowed to come is the same Latinos. That's why we went out with Trump and we voted for this. Now, is it perfect? Absolutely not. Nothing is perfect. People getting deported? Yes. And this is what I tell people. If you're here illegally, at least be a good citizen. At least be a good citizen. You know that if you came illegally to the United States, there's going to be a day that they're going to knock on your door, you're going to get stopped by a cop, and it's over.
Well, and Solano, I've said for years that I feel bad for the people that bought into the lie that if you stayed here long enough, that nobody would do anything about it. I mean, it's never been true. The law doesn't say that. The law doesn't say if you come here illegally, if you stay for 10 or 15 years, then suddenly it's okay. The law doesn't indicate that, and I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry for some people who believed that, who believed if they laid low. I feel bad for them, but and I don't suggest. I've never suggested that we're going to send everybody home that came here illegally. Some people, I think we should have a conversation about allowing them to stay and working through how that looks, how that works. If they've been law-abiding, if they don't take anything from the system, if they've put in time, energy, and effort, they have to pay a penalty for what they did. But we can't get to that conversation if we can't agree that there have to be rules set up in order.
I mean, there's rules everywhere.
Yeah, they just are.
In Latin America and everywhere.
Well, Solano,
when you come into a country.
I'm dealing with the rules right now, and I appreciate your telephone call, but the rules say that I got to go. I got to run to a commercial break and then to the weekend. Solano, thank you for the call. Thank you to all of you for listening. It's 54 after the hour on Super Talk. Hello, friends. I want to talk to you about better water. That's right. You can have better water in your home. It's like a big old Brita pitcher filter for your house, right? Or your office, for that matter. Scalable from under the sink to whole home applications, removing sulfur, iron, chlorine, bacteria, E. coli, everything out of the water. None of that junk that you don't want in your water. They offer a full range of water treatment equipment from reverse osmosis, water softeners, specialized filters, UV lights, you name it. They do it. They're based out of Smyrna. They treat all of Middle Tennessee. I love these guys. They're the same guys that treat the water at the coffee shop, same guys that treat the water at the hospital, and now it's time to treat the water in your home. Don't put up with nasty water. Don't put up with that funky smell or that funky taste. Don't put up with that hard water. Get better water in your life. Give them a call. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you. 615-355-6063. 355-6063. It's Better Water LLC. That winds it down for us. For Jackson Williams, Ken Weaver, this is Matt Murphy speaking and saying, hope you have a great weekend, a great Valentine's Day. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.
It's a good point. Ha ha!